Oh, great. Hello again, everybody, live from Lightning Strikes Bowl in Fort Myers, Florida. What a day we have planned for all of you. $2,500 guaranteed for first place, courtesy of Seed to Table, and the strongest field in the 35-year history since this bowling center opened in the late 80s. The list goes on and on and on. The greatest that have ever lived: Walter Ray Williams, Chris Barnes, Jacob Buttroff, our own John Janowitz, Tom Doherty, Evan Baranicki, John Rikoski, Matt Rizzo. And if you think that's some, how about Parker Bone? It's just an amazing field. They're coming in now. They're checking in. And I've never seen anything quite like it. PBA champion Brad Angelo out of Buffalo, New York. A great player. And I've got a list here, and I want to look at it and give you an idea of exactly what's happening here. A.J. Chapman, Anthony Lavery Spar, Andrew Nair, who's a great young bowler. His dad, Andy, won a PBA title. Of course, Brad Angelo. Brian Robinson has been bowling here for 2 weeks. The great Chris Barnes out of the Dallas area. Chris Keene, our local proprietor, the Dick Weber Sportsmanship Award winner, the owner of Lehigh Lanes. David Forbes, the sponsor of the Audio Fort Myers League. David Stouffer checking in the bowlers, the man who beat Norm Duke. Evan Baranicki and his teammate Matt Rizzo, who was also on the Intercollegiate Championship team of 2019. Of course, Janowitz, 3 USBC Eagles, and a Hall of Famer, our state-grown star. John Rikoski, who won last night. Kim Bolaby out of Europe. Kurt Pylon, 3 USBC Eagles. Mark Pulaski Jr., Matt Williams, Matt Russo again. Parker Bone out of Jackson, New Jersey. And the list goes on and on. Ronnie Martin III, who finished second last month. To Don Barrett. Sean Maldonado. Stu Williams, Beef Stew. Tom Doherty, who finished 11th over there at the Tournament of Champions. And, of course, the living legend, Walter Ray Williams, Jr. What a field, all coming here today to bowl in the Seed to Table 5-gamer. The way it's going to work is, there's Tom Doherty checking in right now with Sean Maldonado. 2 young horses who have 500 revs off their hand, and they will be exciting to watch today. Doherty, Maldonado, and the list goes on and on. I'm going to move one camera. Bear with me.
Lich, what's up, baby?
Hey, Tommy. Yeah, I got a root canal this morning.
You got it this morning?
8 o'clock. Still throbbing. Anyways, John Rikoski just asked me if I'm all right. I had a root canal this morning at 8:30. Got out of there at 9:45. It's still throbbing, but it's getting a little better as I sit here. Was infected. I didn't lose the tooth. And speaking of canals, I grew up in Windsor Locks, Connecticut, and I threw many balls in the Windsor Locks Canal. But today we got one right here in the back, and it's pounding away, so bear with me if I lose it a little bit. Last night I had a tough night, but I wasn't missing this for anything, folks. Take my word for it. This is one that we've been waiting for. This starts off our unbelievable tournament run. Next week, the iRoof PBA Non-Champions event, bowlers 50 and over, 49 and under. Then next month, the Eddie Foods event, that's this tournament, the scratch event, $5,000 guaranteed for first place. Then the PBA Senior Tour coming in here April 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. I'm going to see if I can get a few horses to come in here and say hello, so bear with me. I'm looking for a couple of horses that I can get, so just give me a moment.
today. Too many out-of-state bowlers here.
Okay, we're going to get Parker Bone and Matt Rizzo in here in a moment. They're finishing up their pizzas. There's the boss, Robert Eddy.
What's up?
How you doing, boss? Brad Angelo, the great Brad Angelo out of Buffalo, New York.
How are you, my friend?
How are you? You know our owner, Robert Eddy? This is Brad Angelo, PBA champion. A
I watch your
legend.
videos all the time.
I'm looking forward to
A
it down
legend.
next month too.
Yeah, no, you come to the senior.
Are you 50?
51.
Brad Angelo bowling.
I know I
Sit
don't
with
look
me.
like it. I never-
Come in here and sit with me a minute. I need somebody to talk to. I'm
I gotta
lonely.
check in.
Well, give me 2 minutes. Give me
Okay.
2 minutes and
Okay.
I'll leave you alone. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Brad Angelo, come a little closer to me. And obviously, Bowl U, right?
Bowl U, yes.
And you're our proprietor, obviously, in Buffalo.
That's been a difficult proposition lately.
Yes, it's been a difficult, but we're praying for you and your family, and
Thank
we
you.
hope that the state of New York comes back.
Yeah, I mean, little by little they're opening. We just got word that now you can start playing pool.
Really?
So yeah, so now the coronavirus
Yeah.
doesn't know if you're playing pool or if you got a full rack or not. It's good.
Now, we're going to talk about something. About 4 years ago, I hosted an event in Morgantown, West Virginia,
Yes.
and you won it.
Yes.
And
Fortunate.
now we're here again. This time I'm live streaming. You're still a great player. I think, with the PBA Senior Tour coming in here and today's event, you never know. Maybe you'll take another trophy home. What do you think?
Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be.
I can't keep up with the younger kids anymore.
I know, but
can't
you're
keep
still
up with
great. You're still great.
Well, thank you.
Obviously, you get locked in. You're as good as anybody in the world.
Thank
That's
you.
why you're
It's
here. I
getting-
know that. Because you wouldn't be here if you didn't think you could win.
It's getting more and more difficult to stay locked in out on tour when you're crossing pairs like that. Like as an example, this past week, I crossed with Tommy Jones, Greg Thompson, who's even higher rev rate than Tommy,
Yeah.
and BJ Moore.
Oh my God, BJ
And so
Moore's
wherever I
fantastic.
got lined up,
They burned it.
yeah, just to the left of me, right at the end of the pattern,
Yeah.
was getting scorched. So by the 5th or 6th frame, they were destroyed by the end of the pattern. And it's not like I can just move my eyes right, because then the ball hangs, and if I move a little left, then I hit their...
Well, with the senior tour now, we're a little lower rev rate, and the fact that you're a younger senior
Yeah.
at 51, you might come down here and win that one if you don't win here today.
Well, there's still a lot of good players on the
Oh,
senior tour.
I
mean,
know.
you have to beat Barnes now, and you'll have to beat Couch, and you'll have to beat Tom Hess, who's he bowled right next to me all
He's
week.
throwing
Tom
it great.
Hess.
He's a horse.
He's throwing it
Out of
great.
Iowa, the Iowa farm boy.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he goes home every couple of days just to bale some hay. He throws up the hay
He's
4
a
or
big
5
horse,
levels.
too. That's a lot of beef right there.
Yeah.
I would not want him mad in a barroom fight.
Yeah, but he looks good though. I mean,
I
he's
know
lost
he
some
looks
weight
good.
too.
I know he looks good. Strong man.
Yeah, really strong as an ox.
Well, we're going to be rooting for you today. I know you want to check in
Thank you.
and get ready. Great to
Thank
see you.
you.
Welcome to
Thanks,
Florida.
everybody. Thanks
And
for supporting this guy here. He's a long time friend. I met Larry officially at the Lilac Scratch Challenge back
Lilac
probably 1990.
in the early 90s, and I know I
Something
met you
like
when
that.
the PBA Tour was at Marcel's, and I had a chance to know your dad.
Yeah, my
And,
dad. Yep.
I remember your dad vividly, and I know how much you loved him. He was a great bowler in
He
his
was a
day.
wonderful
He
man
was
and a great
fantastic
bowler. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great.
So you're taking up, where the old man left off?
He passed away in 2013, and still, no matter how I bowl, I get in the car, start the car, and get out on the highway.
Yeah.
And my brain wants to. Oh, I got to call Dad. I got to see what's
I
up.
vividly remember seeing him at Marcel's, talking with him when I was player service director.
Yes.
He was great. You're great.
Yes.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
I
the
gotta
kind
go.
words. All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Good luck. The great Brad Angelo out of Buffalo, New York, who bought Allie Brandt's Lockport Lanes. Parker Bone coming in a moment. Allie Brandt had the high 3 games in the history of bowling from 1938 to 1997, 886, 297, 289, 300. And Brad Angelo owns the bowl that Allie Brandt owns. So there's a nice little trivia question for all of you. Again, we want to thank you all today for joining us. We got a heck of a group today, boy, and we're going to be rocking and rolling here. And there he is, the great one. Just came in. Walter Ray just walked in the door. bowling in shorts today with a mask. Denise Roth is on, ladies and gentlemen, the wife of Mark Roth. Hello, Denise, my dear. Thinking about you and praying for Mark, all of us in the bowling world. Ajay Williams on, Josh Novak, lots of friends, Chuck Burge. Unbelievable group. Duncan Katanic from Scotland, Richard Cheney, Kelly Everett. What a list of people we got. Thank you so much for joining us today. See if I can get a few more horses to come sit with me here. I'm looking for horses. Parker Bone's coming right in. He's a horse. And what a legend, what a great goodwill ambassador for the sport of bowling. As you can see, the check-in table, brackets, and people down the high end of the house here, sitting down, getting ready. Another great day for bowling here at Robert Eddy's Lightning Strikes. There's Walter Ray getting ready to check in. Walter Ray casual today, shorts, pink shirt, black mask. David Covington's here. There's Tom Doherty talking there. Lots of legends. And we are so thankful for what Robert Eddy has done for bowling here in Southwest Florida. My God, you talk about a commitment. In less than 2 short years, scratch tournaments guaranteed, $2,500, $5,000 first place. PBA Senior Non-Champions event next weekend, the 5th, 6th, and 7th of March, sponsored by iRoof. Next month, this event sponsored by Eddy Foods. That's one of Robert's companies. $5,000 guaranteed for first. The PBA Senior Tour here, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th of April, sponsored by Hammer and Brunswick. The Pro-Am sponsored by Audi of Fort Myers, and it just goes on and on and on for what this man has done for bowling, and it's fascinating. Every time I think, well, we've peaked, we get another great event. Today about 110 bowlers, tomorrow about 120, that's 230 this weekend. And the house is filling up. Bowlers at the bracket table, checking in, getting ready for today's action. John Janowitz down there with the red mask on, the great USBC Hall of Famer with 4 USBC Eagles, a great champion, working for Kegel many years now, 25 years. And Matt Russo right there, who was on the intercollegiate Weber team winners with Evan Baranecki, with the DV8 shirt on, getting some tape ready. There's big Stu Williams. Check out Stu Williams right there. Beef Stu. Looks skinny. Looks like he lost some baggage. I like that. From over there on the pond out there in the United Kingdom, Stu Williams. Yes. It's my Cary Grant imitation of Stu Williams. And we are filling up, and what a field it is. See the settee area is starting to fill. Practice will start in about 6 minutes. We've got 61 people watching now, plus on a few other channels. Just a star-studded field today of greatness. Can you imagine today, Walter Ray Williams, Parker Bone, Chris Barnes, all bowler of the years. And then we'll throw in Jacob Butcher for Masters title, and John Janowitz, 4 Eagles and a Hall of Fame. And just the list goes on and on. Of course, Parker Bone, a legend out of Jackson, New Jersey. He'll be coming right in the booth to sit with me in a moment. We're going to talk to the great Parker Bone. You could feel the excitement. Obviously, our local players having a chance now to bowl against Walter Ray and Jacob and Janowitz and Doherty and Parker and Brad and A.J. Chapman and this unbelievable list of superstars. And again, I can understand why they're here. Remember now, a lot of these people have only bowled the Tournament Players Championship and the Tournament of Champions. So they really, a lot of them only have 2 tournaments under their belt, especially in states like New York, New England, Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, where they were pretty much shut down. We were lucky here. We were only shut down 10 weeks, March, April, and May of last year. But a lot of these other people didn't have that bonus. And they're hungry, and they want to bowl. And I'm looking around here, and Parker's going to come in with me. He's on the phone talking to somebody. Parker will be right over, my dear friend of well over 30 years. Oh, I got a bad tooth, Richard Rump. Root canal right here this morning at 8:30. Better than last night, throbbing. I got Motrins, antibiotics, and did not sleep the last 2 nights. So if I look a little fatigued, I'd like to apologize, but it was brutal. I had to go in this morning. I couldn't wait till Monday. I got a dentist to take me, and a very nice man. And ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the great Parker Bone. So nice of you to sit with me today. Congratulations on your wonderful, wonderful career.
Thank you.
Now, you started the tour when, 89?
No, 85.
85.
85. Larry, I'm getting older than you think.
36th year.
Yeah.
Now, when you first came out, did you think you would have this record that first week as a rookie? And here it is 36 years later, and I'm sure several Hall of Fames, including the USBC PBA, and obviously a Bowler of the Year. And what, 4th or 5th on the tournament all-time list behind Earl and Walter Ray and Duke? Are you 4th?
I'm 5th.
You're 5th.
Weber's there too, and I am 5th.
Wow.
I just, the last title I won put me 1 notch ahead of the great Mark Roth.
Wow. And Denise Roth is on today.
Denise, God bless you.
Denise, there's Denise Roth. She's on.
That's great. She's still doing good, and I'm going to cross my fingers along the way that Mark is hanging in there as well.
We all pray for Denise and Mark, and very tough time for a great couple.
Yes. But when you say that, Larry, I'm going to be God's honest truth to tell you that when I first went out on tour, when it was all said and done, my hopefulness was to say that I was one PBA champion.
One.
That's all I wanted. That was my dream, to win a title. Little did I know, 35 years later, I'd amass a couple more things along the way.
Now, how many majors have you got?
3.
And a Masters?
A Masters, a World Championship, and a Touring Players Championship.
And several seconds, if I'm not mistaken.
8 seconds in majors.
8, I knew it was a lot. 8? Yeah. So you bowled 11 title matches in majors.
Yeah.
That alone, not many have done that in the last 60 years. If you think of it that way, to get to that last game. You know, Earl, Walter Ray, obviously, Jason Belmonte, but not many got to 11 major title matches.
Yeah, but you know what? Every time you get to the title match, it's like anything else. You're fortunate to be there, which I do feel very fortunate that I had the opportunity.
Yeah.
But you want to try to seal the deal.
Yes.
Unfortunately, some of them slipped through the cracks. Obviously, quite a few. But
didn't Brian B shoot 300 at you? Was that a title match when he shot 300 at you in Syracuse?
No. In Syracuse, I actually had ball in hand, and I needed a strike to win. I left the bucket. I got a little quick with it.
Against him?
Yes.
So you needed a strike. Brian B's a good friend of mine. He was in my son Michael's wedding. And they've been very close since they were kids.
Great guy.
He's a wonderful man. What a credit to the sport he is up in New England. Yep. I'd love to see him bowl that 50 and over tour, but he's a horse.
He bowls a couple of 50 and over events that I've participated in up there, obviously in the Northeast.
Yeah.
I believe he's also showed up at the Senior Masters, maybe the Senior U.S. Open. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
Because they all kind of mingle together after a while. But he's just a great individual, and he's one of those guys that had the job at home that more than likely could have won a handful of PBA titles.
I believe that.
Back then, out on tour, the game has changed. We know that and understand it.
Yes.
But he's that guy that certainly could have held his own out here.
Now, what about your mother? And tell our fans out there about the award she won. I know she won a very prestigious award about 20 years ago in the state of New Jersey. What did she win? Joan's your mother's name?
No, Jean.
Jean.
Jean is my mom's name, but she won an award. She ran athletic events for special education children.
Yes.
You know, and a lot of people have watched me throughout the years, and they want to know, you know, my correlation maybe with somebody who's a little bit slow or a little bit handicapped or what have you.
Yes.
And I will say this, that I learned from a very young point in life. I was probably 8 or 9 when she took over running this state organization.
Yes.
That I learned all walks of life. And for the people out there that don't have respect for the other people that are not as fortunate in life as you and me, I'm going to tell you right now, you're gravely mistaken, because those people have more heart and soul in anything they do than anybody else.
That's you, and your mother obviously gave you that, and I know that. I met her. A wonderful, wonderful lady.
I'm spending time with her this week. She's in West Palm Beach.
I know. Well, please say hello to her for me.
do that.
She was an inspiration. I loved talking with her when I knew her. Met her at Carolier in the early events there in the 90s, early 90s. Now your children, your wife, you, your daughter, and 2 sons have all bowled 300 games.
It's a full family affair.
And the daughter just bowled her first 300 game at the age of 15, correct?
She just turned 15
Wow.
the middle of February and,
Wow.
and cracked off 300 the other night pre-bowling for league. And
Wow.
it's astonishing when I think about it. You know, it's all in the family. All 5 of us now have one. And,
I know. What a wonderful.
pretty cool.
That's a great record there. That's very,
Very,
rare.
very
I don't think it's that easy. 5 people in the same family, a husband, wife, and 3 children, all with 300s. Anyways, we want to wish you a lot of good luck here this week.
Well, thanks, buddy.
And up the coast.
Yes, well, I appreciate
And
it.
hopefully we'll see you in the World Series on one of those shows. Maybe you'll knock that off. You're due, I know that.
I'd like to hope
There's
so.
still a little gas in the tank.
I think there's some gas
There's
in the
some
tank.
gas in the
I
tank.
just got to figure out how to get it into the engine.
You will. There's Chris Barnes, the legends. There he is. Hi, Chris. How are you? Nice to see you. Welcome, sir. The great and there's Jacob. Let me get Jacob in here real
Okay.
quick. Come on
Let
in
you
here.
go.
Will you give me 1 minute?
1 minute?
I want 1
Well,
minute.
he'll give you 1 minute. He's got so much hook, he's going to give me some.
I want 1 minute with this wonderful,
Big guy.
wonderful young man who I love. Great. You look fantastic. You lost a lot of weight.
Thank you, Larry.
Nice
I'm
and
down,
trim.
I don't know how much weight it'll be after this week being back on tour, but
I'm so proud of you. What a wonderful career you have.
thank you so much.
And
Yeah.
everybody loves you.
It's an honor bowling with this gentleman's young son, too.
You bowled with Michael.
Nationals.
You bowled with Michael, and you bowled fantastic. And Michael called me and said, "Dad, this kid's unbelievable." I said, "What did he do?" He said, "Well, he beat me 400 pins for 9 games. And then the next year he beat him 400 pins again for 9 games. And I said to him when you guys were done, I said, Michael, he just beat you 800 pins for 18 games on the same side of the lane. What happened, Hoss?" He says, "Dad, I've never seen anything like it, Dad. There's nobody like Jacob."
Mike's an amazing person. He's got an amazing dad as a role model, though, for
Now,
sure.
you're both good this week. You got out to shoot pretty good.
Yeah, definitely a top 20.
Yeah.
It's nothing to be ashamed of in the Tournament of Champions. So
Now, how many regional wins?
26.
And how old are you?
I am 26.
26 regional wins at the age of 26, and 9 in 1 year? Is that
Yes, sir.
the PBA record?
Yep, PBA record. I said like the very last regional of the season.
Wow. And you bowled in the great Gary Mages region, and now he's going to be a Hall of Famer, and that
now
is a
it's,
wonderful.
Now he sent the torch down to one of my good friends.
Your
Josh-
fellow Arizonian.
Yeah, Josh Blanchard.
Josh Blanchard's going to take over for Gary Mage, one of your friends.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
He's doing an amazing job already. Josh is just not even just an amazing bowler. He's an amazing person at heart.
I like Josh Blanchard. Wonderful. Had a chance to know him. Anyways, I know you want to get ready. We're going to have the cameras on you. Show us what you got, my young hoss.
Awesome.
Let
Thank
me
you.
see some messengers.
Definitely.
Okay. The great Jacob Buttroff. How's that, folks? 26 years old, 26 regional titles, a Masters title. Just a genius on the lanes. A genius. Oh, gives me the chills. Looks fantastic. Looks like he lost about 30 pounds of baggage. I think he was doing a little boozing. And he said it, on Facebook that he was going to stop and get himself in shape, and I love it. And the great Steve Neff is watching today from Homosassa Springs. Neffer, hello, Neffer. The 1973 PBA Player of the Year to 1975 U.S. Open champion, formerly out of Sarasota. Great player. The great Steve Neff on with us. There's Robert Eddy, the boss. Everybody likes to stop and talk to the boss. I know. I just had him in the booth. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We're thrilled. And we got the horses here today, folks. Rakoski winning last night in the sweeper, shooting 976. He's down there with Billy Seymour. Matt Russo talking to his teammate Evan Baranecki. They are still the reigning intercollegiate team champions because we didn't have that competition last year. We'll get Chris Barnes in the booth as the show goes on, folks. It's going to be a long day. I didn't want to get them all in here at once. Obviously, we want to watch some bowling, and then what I will do is bring some of the other legendary figures in here, some of the younger stars, some of the tour veterans, some of the seniors, and just a great day for bowling here at Robert Eddy's Lightning Strikes. And we are thrilled. Walter Ray Williams, just no quit in that man, an amazing, amazing man. And what a field. My God. You talk about greatness. Ronnie Martin the second and his son bowling. Ronnie Martin the third lost last month to Don Barrett. Wouldn't that be something? Let me tell you about today's format. It's a little different. It's 5 games of qualifying. The top 8 bowlers will get a bye. 24 bowlers will make the cut. They will bowl each other in 2-game matches. So in the first set of 2-game matches, bowlers 9 through 24 will bowl against each other. There'll be 8 winners. Those 8 winners will bowl the 8 top seeds. There will be 8 winners, 4 winners, 2 winners, 1 winner, 2-game matches all the way through. We split the house up, so after the first match down the low end, they'll be bowling on the high end on fresh. That way we won't have people launching them over the gutter cap. We don't want that. Rick Wilbur on, welcome aboard. Rick, the tooth is horrible. Root canal this morning, Tom Irwin, 8 o'clock, 8:30. It's better, but it's throbbing, and it hurts. And it was a $506 morning, and I'm not done. So, didn't sleep, but I'm here. And that's the best part of all, is I feel I can get through this thing without feeling what I felt last night, which was from hell, believe me, absolutely from hell. I never felt such pain like that in my life. Although I did have an ex-wife or two that, one in particular that gave me a pain, but we're friends. I would down a bottle of Advils with her, believe me. But she still loves me. She says I'm a wonderful man. For those of you must put up with my sense of humor today, I'm sorry. Bowling on the same pattern we bowled on last night. Jim Britt liked that. The Larry Lichtenstein mouth. Well, yeah, nobody ever accused me, Brian Sullivan, of being a quiet man. I've always been a chirper. What else can I tell you? Oh, Monday I'm going for my first COVID shot, and I'm stopping in Lake Placid on the way to Sebring. I got an opening in a Publix in Sebring to see Dave Davis, who got out of the hospital 2 days ago after open heart surgery, the PBA legend. I will be seeing him Monday, taking some pictures of me and Huey, and putting it on Tuesday. We prayed for him. He came through it. Had 3 arteries, 100% blocked, 100% blocked, and 198% blocked. The doctors were amazed that he did not have a heart attack and die. And I prayed for him, and I'm going to see him Monday. My dear, dear friend in Lake Placid. And Kyle Bigelow likes my sense, and Gary Seitz likes my sense of humor. Dr. Gary.
Is your tooth okay?
I had a root canal this morning.
Okay. I got something I brought just to
What is that?
You actually put this in the cap.
What is it? Sit down with me here. Dr. Gary Seitz is here today. Dr. Gary Seitz, what do you have What is that?
It's made for when you got a bad tooth and you can't get to the dentist.
Yeah.
You put this in the cavity or the hole.
Yeah.
And it actually protects the air or whatever getting to the problem. Yeah.
Really?
I had that right before I got my teeth.
Looks like Bondo for working on a car.
It's basically the same thing.
You didn't get that out of a Bondo can, did
Can
you?
you read that? It says temporary fillings.
Temporary fillings. Got any temporary hair? We're both in the market. The heck with the temporary fillings.
Anyway, if
We
you
need
needed
temporary
it, I got
rugs.
it. If you needed it, I
LICHSTEIN
got
and
it.
Seiss will be doing a temporary filling and a hair club for men commercial here, folks.
I got it if you need it.
All right, Gary Seiss here today, watching the action out of Columbus, Ohio. Been bowling 60 years. Avid bowler. So nice to have our friends aboard. Thank you so much, all of you. Competition will be starting shortly. I'm looking around, see if I can get somebody else in the booth here to say hello. Lots of young horses. Let me see if I get Walter. Oh, Walter Ray's setting up his camera. Really cool. Watch this, folks. I'm going to show you something here. Let me do this. Watch this. I want you to see Walter Ray's camera. See it right there? Right to the left? He live streams his own bowling. I'm going to turn the camera a little. And I think that is the coolest thing. He told me he gets sometimes 10,000 people watching from around the world, and why wouldn't they? Obviously the greatest bowler that ever lived. Josh Nowak likes my stories, huh, Josh? Well, Josh, I'll tell you a true story. In 66, 67, and 68, every time I bowled bad at Bradley Bowl in Windsor Locks and I lost money, I bowled all night, and Saturday morning we would go to the Windsor Grill, and I would throw my bowling balls in the Windsor Locks Canal and the Connecticut River. And by 1968, there was about 20 of them in there. But I had a root canal this morning, and as I went into the dentist's office, thinking of the word canal, I started flashing on all them bowling balls I dumped in 55 years ago. They were all rubber, Manhattan rubbers, AMF 3 daughters, and Amphites. Well, the Amphites had a gum rubber and maple chip core that would absorb water. Well, one sat in the canal for 2 years, and the canal cleaners came along, drained the canal, saw about 18 balls in there, took them out and brought them back to Bradley Bowl. And nice to see you. And I took the balls, one of them inside, because when I threw it in, I actually liked it, and I found it. Sat in the water for 2 years. I used it that night, won a bunch of money. It felt kind of heavy, and one of the bowlers picked it up and said to me, I loaded the bowling ball. I said, I never loaded the bowling ball. Look, there's no plugs. I did not tell him it was in the canal. It weighed 17 pounds. Later in life, I became the ball weigher for the PBA. So there's the canal story, the tooth in the canal story, the 17-pound ball that picked up a pound of weight. That's a Larry story. And for all of you that liked it, I'll give you my email. You can send a $10 bill for my next tooth adjustment when I need a crown. To Larry's Crown, if you will. Larry's Crown. An amazing story by Larry, and we're just about ready for practice now. Got about 110 bowlers. Robert Hamilton on. Are you the Robert Hamilton from Windsor Locks, bro? Oh, I had him in the canal, the Connecticut River. I even had one in at Sunrise Park in Suffield. Had one in at Barkhamsted. Oh, I love throwing those boat anchors right in the water. And again, great to be with all of you today at Lightning Strikes. Joe Penko, my dear friend on, as usual, Gary Faulkner. We're Rikoski down there with his teammates, Donnie Schwartz and Daniel Gacera and Lee Ratchin, our local players. But when we look down the line, there is some unbelievable talent in this facility today. Walter Ray sitting there on his cell phone right now, seeing with the mask on. Many people believe the greatest bowler that ever lived, and obviously some people say it's Walter Ray. Some people say it's Earl Anthony. But obviously it's 1-2, 1-2, no matter how you look at it. Robert Eddy walking by, the boss. Lots of horses here, young horses. Brian Robinson bowling today, who's bowled fantastic here the last 2 weeks. And Robert Hamilton used to bowl with Vialli and Webb and Soul and my son. Very nice. Mark Pulaski Sr. on. Hello, Mark. Hope you're feeling better, sir. Thinking about you and hoping your leg heals. Tom Cox. Now, last night I picked Rikoski. Remember that, everybody. So today with Stu Williams and Barnes, 5 games. Keep in mind, top 8 getting a seed now. Remember that. No position round. A very interesting field. Tom Doherty has won this scratch event and bowled very well in this house. I believe he will be a factor. Obviously, the left plays well, but it did not play well yesterday. On the other hand, Buttriff is in a class by himself. Obviously, if he's leaning on it, he might be able to hook it in that ice that was out there. About 7 out, there was ice on the left. I don't know about the left side, so I don't think I'm going to pick Jacob. But I think today I'm going to go with Tom Doherty. How's that one? And Tom Doherty will be bowling in the title match. Chris Barnes. I really went out on a limb there, didn't I, folks?
All right, bowlers. All right, guys, listen up. Welcome to Lightning Strikes. You got myself, Dave Stouffer, and you got Mary Berner here. We'd like to welcome you to Lightning Strikes. Thank you all for coming out here today. Today you'll be bowling 5 games to get to the top 24, with the top 8 receiving a 1-round bye. Today we do have some pretty good bowlers here. We appreciate you showing up. So I'm going to skip around on lanes. On lanes 33 and 34, our own Evan Baranecki. He is a collegiate winner with Team Weber. On 31 and 2, Mr. John Rikoski, Mr. 2-time tap winner and last night's sweeper winner. Congrats. On 21 and 22, AJ Chapman. He's the winner of your 2015 Wichita State Team Championship, and he is a 3-time USA member. 2 golds and a silver at the PABCON Championships. Congrats, AJ. On 15 and 16, Mr. Tom Doherty, holding 2 PBA Tour titles and finished 11th at the TOC over in Jupiter. Congrats, Tom. On 35 and 36, John Janowitz, member of Team USA with 15 gold medals, 7 silver medals, 4 bronze medals, USBC Hall of Fame, and 2013 USBC Open Team Championships. On 37 and 38, your 2011 European Team Championship, 2012 European Doubles and Team Trios Championship, Mr. Thomas Larson. On 15 and 16, your 2000, batteries dying? Where are we at? 15 and 16, your 2014-2015 PBA Southwest Region Player of the Year, Mr. Sean Maldonado. On 27 and 28, this is going to take a minute. So,
we know who that is.
47 national PBA titles, with 8 of them being majors, 11 PBA 50 titles, and 3 PBA 50 majors. both PBA and USBC Hall of Fame, along with several Players of the Year, Mr. Walter Ray Williams Jr.
Yeah, the greatest. Unbelievable.
33 and 34.
Unbelievable.
19 PBA titles, 3 of those being majors, and the PBA Hall of Fame. Your Player of the Year a couple times, USBC Hall of Fame, and your 07-08 Player of the Year, Mr. Chris Barnes.
Wow. Chris Barnes. Unbelievable.
31 and 32.
What horses
He's got
today,
2
folks.
PBA titles
Just
from the
fantastic.
United Kingdom. The most colorful, Mr. Stuart Williams.
Yeah. Beef stew.
All right, and on 23 and 24, he's got 7 titles with 1 major, Mr. Jacob Buttriff.
Wow.
On
Buttriff.
31 and 32,
There's Buttriff. Look
he's
at
got
him. He lost a
35
lot of
PBA
weight,
titles
folks.
with 3
Looks like
majors,
he lost about
PBA
40
Player of the
pounds.
Year in
He was really
1999,
heavy. I was
2001,
amazed
2002.
to see how much weight he took off.
Mr. Parker Bone III.
And the great legend, Parker Bone. Of course, everybody loves
Once
Parker.
again, thank you guys coming here. Also, without this guy, none of this would be possible. This building was almost a furniture store 2 years ago. His love for the game and his bowling community is why we are here today. On behalf of the staff here and our bowling community, thanks for supporting the game that we all love. Thank you for your generosity and your guaranteed prize funds, and thank you for having us here today, Mr. Robert Eddy.
The boss.
All right, guys, best of luck today. And here's Mary. She's got a couple things to say.
There he is.
Okay, I'd like to welcome all of you bowlers here today. Thank you so
Robert
much for
bowling
those
with
of you
Doherty
who communicated
and
with
Sean
me.
Wilcox. You talk
I
about some
really
talent on that
appreciate it.
pair.
I can call out
Robert,
names I know
just an
everybody.
amazing man.
So
Loves the
just
world
to
of
let you
bowling.
know, as per
Loves to
the
socialize with the
board
bowlers.
sessions, any place on the surface
And
of the
he
bowl,
is
ordinary
just-
such as powder, rosin, soapstone, etc. You may only use a brush.
It's
or
just
use your
hard to
size for
describe.
If you have problems with the lanes, if you have problems with scoring,
I've never seen it.
anything to do
Not
with
like
the
this.
area, there's an intercom tab on
And I've been around. I'm no rookie.
Discuss it in the,
Not like this.
I guess the front desk will actually ask you what's going on, and then the lane attendant will come to you. For those of you who are getting into the side pods, we will be tabulating them and paying them out.
Dale DeMello, Lori Taylor, is Ike Williams. Hello, is Ike. John Smith. Thank you all so much for coming aboard with us today at Lightning Strikes.
If you're in the top 24, don't worry about collecting your money then, because we'll make sure you get it. But if you're not and you go to leave, please check for the front desk first before you take off. We are going to print out some score sheets for you guys. You can
And this is
write
going to
your
be
reviews, but we do ask that you write your
Quite an
score
event
at
today.
the time.
Take my
So
word
we
for it.
can-
These 24 bowlers that will make it
we can, actually
will be the strongest field in the history of this facility and Southwest Florida.
That way we know where you are and where
We're
you
talking giant killers.
Just to reiterate,
If you think about the
we are both
national
live
TV shows
skipping 3
that
pairs
this
to
field
watch
is
after
made,
each game.
and you
We're
just
gonna
take
test the top 24,
Walter Ray
and
and
we'll
Parker
read
Bone
all
and
of
Chris Barnes,
All right?
you're
We're gonna
probably
do the top
well over
65,
400
top
national
24
telecasts.
game match.
Then we'll throw the
If
rest
match
in.
results in a tie,
And all of a
nine
sudden it
intense
dawns on
frame
you
roll-off
that,
will be determined to match.
This is a very special event for us
Winners will advance to face the top
and you,
8 seeds.
because
All
this is
matches
the
will be
local
2
level.
games
This
in
is
a
not the
tie after 2
PBA.
games.
This
The
isn't
9
Fox.
frame roll-off
This
will
is
be
a proprietor that has decided that he wants to bring the best in here, and the way you do it is put up some money. The old saying, put up or shut up. A month from now, 5,000 for first, and 2 PBA events coming, one in March, one in April, in less than 2 years of ownership. Just an amazing, amazing record of consistency to let them all know that this can be their home. They can come in here and love it and be treated like royalty.
When your brackets when practice is going, at the end of practice, it is closed. So before you start turning to play, you must.
Tom Irwin says the left side today, huh? Well,
All right.
I'm not going to say you're wrong because Buttrick is so good.
Good bowling.
But
Thank you all for coming.
I saw some balls yesterday that scooted out on the left and went 60 feet when
Just push the check mark.
right around 5, 6, and 40 feet. They had no chance. That ball hit ice on the 6 board at 40. And if Buttrick hooks it through that, then he is God as far as I'm concerned, because there is no lefty yesterday that could get the ball to touch the head pin when the ball was out around 5. Look, he went in the gutter on ball 1. Of course, that don't mean anything. But they're tight in game 1 on both sides when you leak it. Outside of 8, there is ice out there. And, of course, a lot of these guys didn't bowl here last night. Look at the gutter balls. So, as you can see, look how many went in the gutter. You think I'm joking? You just saw 5 gutter balls. And these guys are good bowlers, and their first balls are all sailing to the left and to the right. So as you can see, there's some heavy sauce on this pattern. Just an unbelievable group. There's Buttriff. Look at that one. Oh boy, that one. See it flutter? That time he got a little hand in it, kept it on a lane. So he's got to move in. I don't think swinging the ball out to the 5 board is going to cut it. He's got to get inside between the 2nd and 3rd arrow. Stay away from the 8 board. Tighten it up through the front, and go direct from in my opinion, which he's very capable of. I don't think he's going to stay out there too long with that ball missing the head pin. But we're going to keep our camera on him in a bit. We're going to move him around now. Keep in mind, Rakowski last night around 16-17 to go 986 to win. And he ran away. Robinson was tied with him after 3 games. They both had 740. Robinson struck out for 193 to finish second. He can get in there and lean on it. You know, cross 22, 23, and get it out to 14, 15 and get it to flip back. But balls out around the 10 board will not make it. Unless you're very soft with a lot of revs, very direct, no head belly. You don't want the ball on 10 and going right. It's not gonna come back. There's B-Rob right there. And let's see if we can watch this legend on 33. This unbelievable legend, Chris Barnes, who for 25 years has dazzled the bowling world since his days at Wichita State. And I had the honor to be inducted into the USBC Hall of Fame the same evening with Chris Barnes and the late John Davis, the owner of Kegel, and Mika Kovyumeni and Kelly Kulik. What a night that was for me. Craig Auerbach, I wish you were here too. We miss you, brother. Florida State Hall of Famer. Great bowler. Over there at Fort Walton Beach. Got a lot of forts, Florida. Fort Myers Beach. Fort Walton Beach. Fort Denode. Fort Lauderdale. Fort Pierce. Several that I missed. Andrew Coffey bowling, one of Florida's young stars on 37. Again, a great field today. We want to thank all of you for watching. And Adam Beloff, one of the greatest stories, a young man who 2 years ago was averaging 120. Bowling today in this field with Walter Ray Williams. And he has won a 5-game handicap event here. He's a wonderful young man. He works here. There's Adam right there. And Adam bowling today with Walter Ray Williams And if somebody had said to him and me and his parents 2 years ago that your son will be shoeing up with Walter Ray the last 2 days of February in 2021, we would have all looked at that person and said, you are out of your mind. There's something wrong with you. It's not going to happen. The boy can't average 120. And all of a sudden, he figures some things out, gets a little confidence, has a great demeanor, and he's bowling with the greatest that ever lived. A wonderful story. And that's what bowling does. Bowling has wonderful stories for all of us. I know many people that have met their wives in bowling centers and their husbands, a lot of ladies. Bowled in a mixed league together. David Ozio met his wife Lisa in a pro-am. It's happened a lot. Bowling just brings people together at a casual level and a competitive level. And I think the word's out about Robert. I think everybody that has been told about this place didn't know it, kind of felt it was just another bowling center in another town. And the word is it's different. It's unique. It live streams. It has great leagues. It's been remodeled. It was a dump. You talk about a dump. Oh, my God. And Rick Wilbur met his wife in a bowling alley. And Renee Waddell in a billiard hall. Ronnie Martin III right there on 20. Missed winning last month, needed a 9 drop, got 7, had to make them, got 2 of the 3, and lost by a pin. Wouldn't that be amazing today if he could get into a top 24 in this field and redeem himself? Buttriff going to urethane, going to resin. See that? Got rid of that urethane ball. That ain't coming back. Not on this stuff. So it looks like Buttriff now throwing resin, which I believe he has to do. And again, there's Lavery right there, TV finalist on 22. Excellent bowler out of Texas. He is a factor. Unique style, short choppy steps. Watch. See that? See that pivot into the slide? However, definitely a bowler that can light him up. The words of the great Billy Waylow, it's not how, it's how many. And in today's day and age, with these stars and these styles in this generation, these people that can read a lane and repeat are fantastic. Andrew Hall right there now, excellent bowler. Keep in mind, his son of PBA champion, Andrew Nyer, son of PBA champion Andy Nyer, and Andy Nyer won in '93 in St. Louis. So we got a young boy bowling today whose dad was a PBA champion. And Barnes looking good as usual. Bowling with Stouffer. That could be an exciting pair. And Baranecki. Some good bowlers right there. And Walter Ray live streaming to his audience. There's his live stream set up. He's an amazing man. Thank you, Joe Panko. What do I think the score is going to be, Robert Hamilton? Well, that's a very good question. Now, keep in mind, last night there was 45 bowlers, and I believe 5 broke 900 for 4. Today, obviously, the field skill level has went up 1,000%.
All right, guys, just a reminder, once we practice.
I don't know if 1,100 for 24th, but
Thank you, guys.
I think that's a possibility. I think that 1080 to 1,100 right in there. Steve Ferraro on tonight, very nice, or this afternoon. Thank you, Steve, for plugging us in. Jim Argy from Martha's Vineyard. Jackie O's house going for sale on Martha's Vineyard for $65 million. Now,
Litchi Haas. I just stopped by to tell you good luck today.
You are quite an announcer. We got a little blurry. I had a few drinks last night.
You ain't the only one.
There. Harry Golden would be proud of you.
Good.
God, out there
we
with a
appreciate these guys being here.
With a mellifluous voice out there doing the announcing.
We appreciate Robert. We
Oh,
appreciate
Robert's,
having Sun Bowl. This is awesome.
How about this?
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Who would have thought
2 years
this?
ago.
I know, I've been telling everybody.
2 years
I
ago.
say to everybody, if anybody said this was going to happen 22 months after he bought it, I'd have laughed at him. Said, you're out of your mind.
Good dude, too.
The floors were like flypaper.
Yes, they were.
Still walking, your shoes would come off.
Not no more?
Not anymore. You put the floors in.
So good luck today, sir.
Thank you. I'm ready.
Okay.
All right, David Stouffer ready for action. There's Jacob. Look at Jacob. He lost that gut. Check him out. A little skinny dude now. Not much meat there in the front. I like it. You know, sometimes in this game you can just get a little too big and foot speed slows down, the back angle changes, the quickness of the swing coming through has to go around the hip a little more, and you run into what I would call a slower game, if you will. I think most of you would agree with that. Tim Foy bowled real good last night. Tim Foy, excellent player right there. What a fine young man he is. On the Brunswick staff, just a fine gentleman. And we have a lot of greats here today. And Robert Eddy bowling with Sean Maldonado. I like Sean Maldonado. He's cool. Got that little hop at the end like Harry Smith. Oh, see that one? That Lavery through. I mean, he's got some hand. That ball just went right. See you there. See it? Forget it. See it? I mean, you just power it up a little bit and tilt it too much, it's going to go forever. You got to roll it. You can't over tilt on this. Got to roll it. Can't just spread the index finger and just wheel. This is a very tough pattern. That's a good shot there for Buttriff. I like that. That was a little better. See, he started to move in a little. And I think he gets that feet right another board or two and plays that target. He might be a factor. I like the fact that he's in now between the second and third arrow. He's got to get away from that sauce from 10 out. It's lightning sauce. See the light hits. You can see him across the house, both sides of the lane. 2-8-10s, 3-7-9s, 1-2-4s, 1-3-6s. You got to be very careful here early. You miss right or miss it at the bottom and it slides out the window. Good luck. See where Stouffer is? Inside between the third and fourth arrow. There is friction in there. They are inverted, obviously. The more right, you may look at Janowitz, right where he belongs, right in there. See it? Oh boy. See, they're going to show people what's going on. People got to start watching them. Janowitz is a lane reading genius. He's great. The jaw is sore, Doug Clark, but the tongue keeps flapping, I might add. And a root canal this morning. Just loving it. Just loving a root canal at 9 o'clock in the dentist's chair. Was thrilled. dentist kept calling me my friend. It's my friend. Do you feel all right, my friend? Yes, I do. And he grinding away. You all right, my friend? Yes, I'm all right. We became friends in the dentist chair because I gave him $500 to grind on my teeth. Very nice. I have a $500 friend. It's like Al Pacino. My little friend. See, Cassera got in now. See, he found a little wrinkle in there. Now they will break him down in there, and he will be able to move a little more left. So keep in mind, they break it down. There's plenty of oil in on the 5th and 6th arrow. This could be a fallback by the end of Game 5. And you see Coffey's shot right there. He found it. Once these guys see it, they're not afraid. They just have to see it. It's like anything else. When you recognize it, this field is capable of very good numbers. That's why I figure 1080, 1100 right in there. Joe will be my friend for $459. Thank you, Joe. Tom W., greetings from Germany. Thank you, sir, for joining us from that beautiful, beautiful country. My dear friend Peter Knopp from Germany, great bowler. Oh, Steve Beloff, this is an award for me. Believe me when I tell you, I've had an unbelievable career. Many awards, many great things happen, but to be 71 and do this, even with a bad tooth, this is why we live if we're bowlers. This is the field. This is what we dream of. There's many people here that want to bowl in a tournament with Jacob and Walter Ray and Brad Angelo and Tom Doherty and Chris Martin. They want to bowl with them. They dream of bowling with superstars, Parker Bone. And here they are, they're doing it. Look at Pontus Anderson. Pontus Anderson's great. Watch Pontus Anderson right here. Wow, look at Pontus. All right, got a break there, broke it down. I like the way Pontus Anderson bowls. Tammy Stouffer watching. Welcome aboard, Tammy. David did an unbelievable job the last few months promoting, announcing, building, selling, raffling. Very proud of David. David has really stepped up to the plate, taken charge, and doing a wonderful job here at this facility. Watch, we're gonna watch who's taking a little walk right here. There he is. Check him out. Check him out. Got a little brace on that left knee. How many shots you think that left knee has seen in his life? 1 million? A couple million deliveries? What do you think? 60 years old, 40 years as a professional, 30 tournaments a year or more, maybe 40 tournaments a year times 40 years, 1,600 tournaments, 30 games a tournament. And if you think about it and realize that somehow, and I don't know how, he's been able to maintain the desire to win. Just an amazing story about a gifted man. John Rutkowski won last night. I actually picked Rutkowski, did not put the kiss on him. Don't know how that happened. But I did pick the great Rakoski shot 986. Brian Robinson was second with 933. See right there where Robert Hilton is. I like the way he's playing that lane. Very tight through the front. Sean Wilcox struggling today. Both great here last month. Had a chance to win our scratch event. Now, interesting. You got to watch this. Watch Tyler Altman on 15 and 16. Watch the hop. Watch the hop. See the hop? Got it? Two-hander with a hop, right, folks? He's crossing with Sean Maldonado. Watch what Maldonado does at the slide. It's uncanny that they're actually bowling together today. Now, Buttriff did strike. He's coming up now on 24. Uh-oh. Get ready, folks. He's got urethane up 12. Look out. 14 12. Maybe 11 at the break point. 14 13. 12 at the break point. That's where you got to be. Watch out there, folks. And Doherty, obviously great player. Bowled very well in this house with a triple. Got a lot of tricks, a lot of releases. 45 years old, in great shape, strong man. Bowling next to Ryan Waddell. Ryan Waddell bowling next to Jacob Buttriff and Tom Doherty. He's got to be thrilled. His mother's got to be thrilled. And this is what we do. We let our locals bowl with the big guns, and they're going to go home having lived a dream today. All because of Robert Eddy. That man doesn't buy this place. It's a furniture warehouse. It would have been called Larry's Used Furniture. See the hop on Maldonado? See it? Identical to Altman. Their games are literally identical, which I've never seen with two-handers. They all throw it different. If these two guys get up at the same time, it's like, who copied who? Watch. He's sideways right here, hop. There's the hop. See it? Sean Wilcox, an exciting young player right here. Shot 300 in last month's event here. Look at that stroke. He's an assassin. Let's go down here now. Watch the two-handed lefty. Matt Russo, graduate of Weber. Check him out. Two-handed lefty. A little short there. And Rakoski starting like he did last night. Just striking every ball. He's got this pattern wired. Oh boy. He could be a factor. And lo and behold, actually my tooth has stopped aching. I want to thank Joe Panko for that. Thank you, Joe, for allowing my tooth to stop aching. Very tight through the front. You can see that ball's around 13-14 at 40 feet. And that's why when the fairway's narrow like that, you get a little faster, just miss right or lose one off the hand, see it. It's 2-8-10, it's washout. You really got to pure them. And Stouffer bowling with Barnes. Now keep in mind, Barnes now one open spare split. Still throws it great. Attaboy, that's Barnesy. And that's what he's got to do. And Brian Robinson out of Morgantown, keep in mind, bowled very well here early. Been here 2 weeks. We're going to move the cameras now and go to the big cameras so we can give you some more action to watch here. There's David Forbes, our GM at Audi of Fort Myers, and what he's done for this bowling center. 120 Audi 2-day usages have been won. 240 days of free Audis after 27 weeks. Figure it 100 a day for that car, that brand. $24,000 in Audi usages. It's crazy, but true. Thomas Larson from Denmark, right here, a fine champion. Wow, right through the pocket. Great shot for Larson. Getting these balls just cut right through the racks constantly. Ron Lushart, do you like watching this, Ron? Ron, I'm looking for a chauffeur. Ron, are you busy? I don't feel like driving to work anymore from the senior park. I'd like to be picked up. I want somebody to get me a newspaper and some coffee. I'll tell them free bowling stories, Ron. Maybe we'll get Forbes to give us an A8. And you can chauffeur Uncle Larry to work, Ron. You lucky devil, you. Barnes right now wants to strike here. He's got to make his statement early. This pair is playable. John Huff, I wish you were here, brother. You'd have bowled great on this. We'll see you next weekend and see you for our senior event. Glad you and Steve Cagliar are bowling here in April. You guys deserve it. We want Southwest Florida's best over the age of 50 in this event. Got to have some locals. Got to have somebody to root for. The Huffer's tough. He'll be ready. Look at Stu Williams. Slow rolling it. See that? Very slow. Is that follow through that stops right at the belt? Bob Strampy did that. Stopped it short. Billy Seymour catching it there. Wow, does he throw it good. I love the way Seymour rolls. Now let's watch the living legend. And he says, why me? I did everything right. Why do I have to leave a ringing 10? Some people have other words for the ringing 10. They usually start with F. Now look at Buttriff. I said he had to get in. earlier that he could not be around 8 at the break point. Now he's around 12. He's throwing urethane. Looks like 15 to 13, maybe leaking it to 12. And if he gets this look across the house, ladies and gentlemen, it could be lights out. This guy here is uncanny because he's so unorthodox. You can't teach it. You can't teach footwork like that and a wrist position like that. Watch the wrist. My God. That ball's resting right on his forearm. Look, right there about 15 to 13. And look out. He's got that look. He is a thoroughbred, folks. Now watch Sean Lavery out of Texas. Wow, solid 9 for Sean. What a group of Texans coming out now with Anthony Simonson and, of course, Barnes moving to Texas. Lavery Spar and his brother and Maldonado. Texas has had a great, hello, Greg.
Hello, Larry.
A great history from my day and age. Yes, you know, with the great Bill Lillard, Gary Dickinson, David Ozio, Bobby Cooper. Were great lefties. Ski Feremski. Just an enormous amount of talent. But the greatest, a lot of people believe now, of course, Norm Duke. But this kid, this Simonson, is gifted beyond comprehension. We're going to stay right here and watch Tuesday Tyler.
Tuesday Tyler, I like
yes,
that.
4 300s here on Tuesdays.
He isn't.
See, on Tuesday that carries. On Saturday it's
It's flat.
it's that rotten 10-pin Tyler on Saturdays. And that oil's about 5 feet shorter on Tuesdays, and that ball comes off that thing like it hit a bumper. Put this long oil out there, and there's just not enough time for it to hook. Got to be tight through the front. And again, that's the one that really hurts. You know you pured it. You know, the ball's online, and that's the steeper entry angle causes ring and tens. The steeper it is, the later the ball breaks, you get them out more. That's the entry angle when that lane is tighter and the ball's breaking off at 12, 13 rather than 4 or 5. That's why you leave the ringing tens. Leon, I had a root canal this morning at 8 o'clock for a fast $506. Loving it. Love waking up for the $500 drill. I get drilled for $500 and I hear the thing drilling into my tooth. The double drill. Thank God they were open. I'll tell you right now, I would not have made it. I did not sleep all night. And look who's on 8 in a row. Didn't I pick Tom Doherty, folks? Do you remember, ladies and gentlemen, or did you forget? Until then, he got the Larry kiss. It's no longer Tom Doherty. I'm going to go to the next guy with 8 in a row and tell all of you that's the guy I picked. See, I do that.
I'm going to go with Jacob Butteriff, Magic Wrist.
I think Jacob Butteriff right now is going to be a factor.
That guy's amazing.
Zach Tackett bowling on 12, ladies and gentlemen. It's E.J. Tackett's brother. And again, I saw this before in my life when Nelson Burton's brother Neil bowled. You know, a lot of people didn't give him
credit,
a lot of hope, but he had 2 USBC Eagles and a Masters title. Neil Burton could bowl.
He could fly.
But you know, with his brother overshadowing him, I'm sure Zach Tackett has the same scenario.
We used to call him the 4-foot dynamite back home.
Yeah,
he could bring it.
So we're going to watch Zach Tackett.
What pair is he on, Larry?
Zach's on 11 and 12 on 7 in a row.
He throws it good too. Every time I see Chapman, he's eating.
Andrew Nair, this young boy on 12, his dad won a PBA title, and his dad, ladies and gentlemen, I'm almost positive about this, has the most sanctioned 300 games in bowling history somewhere around 260, and the most sanctioned 800s from Pennsylvania State College area. Doug Clark likes cribbage with Jake Tappan. I like corned beef and cribbage, Doug Clark. I'm a cribbage guy. Nice baked cribbage. Oh, wait a minute, that's cabbage. Sorry, I screwed up.
Here goes corner right here.
Now, Buttriff.
Spare open. Oh, I mean spare 5.
Let's watch Zach Tackett. From the back, he looks like EJ with that hairdo. Oh, he's got it too. Look at that swing. Oh, good shot.
Jacob, crush. That's all that kid does.
Jacob Buttriff is a phenom. Uh-oh. And Walter Ray now not happy.
Neither is Chris Barnes.
And when you're dealing with fantastic bowlers, they're so used to winning that when they don't, it's hard on them. It's not because they're bad sports. It's just they're used to beating everybody, you know. And sooner or later that day comes when all of a sudden that skill level decreases just enough to make you vulnerable. I mean, he's still great, but he can't afford to be bowling 2-0 on this shot. He needs a 260, 270, because then in match play, it's 2 games, he's got a shot at him. But if he falls behind 50, 60 pins after 3 games, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Greg Thompson, wow. Beautiful game for Greg Thompson. Nice stroke. Spare and 6. Let's go down the low end here. Well, no one is. No one feels that Walter Ray can't win. I believe he can win. And I still feel, after watching him bowl, that he can win. But he's got to believe it. Never mind me. I believe he does, but I believe he's frustrated because they're coming less and less. But when he won his 100th PBA tournament, a lot of people said, well, you know, that's crazy. Well, he's up to 118. So he won 18 more PBA events. So Carlos Grandos were both very well last month. Kyle, wonderful young man. Carlos Grandos from South America. And we're going to stay here and watch this great left-hander. And obviously, on the PBA Tour right now, you've got Svensson and Buttriff dominating the left side of the lane. Both unique, both different styles. We'll come back. I'll move it up a little. Let's watch Greg Thompson bowl. I was very impressed. His last shot, a big man. Nice footwork, nice stroke. Oh yes, Leon. That's the fastest 500 I spent in an hour and a half since I played blackjack in Las Vegas. Take my word for it, Leon. This guy got me for more money than when I had money. I mean, I was conservative when I had money. It took him all day to get me for 500. This guy had an hour and a half. But he kept calling me my friend. He said, "Are you all right, my friend?" I said, "Yes, I am." "Are you okay, my friend?" I said, "Yes, I am." For $1,000, he would have said, "I love you, my friend." Yeah. I'll give you all new teeth, my friend, for $10,000, my friend. All right, let's watch this young man here now. Watch the small footwork. See it? Small foot steps. Check him out. Beautiful. Oh, no, that's 26. And for all of you, there it is. 26, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen hundreds of 710s on that pin deck like that, just like that.
The famous stopper.
A great shot. That's our feature pair, and boy, a lot of those in this house.
Tom, nice bowling last week.
Now, we're going to watch Jacob Pontus. See, when Jacob moved in and got away from that wobble on 9-10 and saw that ball finish just once, no farther out than 12, all he's got to do is get it back to the pocket, which is 17. He immediately adjusts and very tight through the front if you watch. Laying it down about 15, 13 at the arrows, maybe out to 11, 12 at most. That one's out about 7. And it got back. Oh, my God. Look out for him.
Look out for us, what I said.
Yeah, that one I got out a little farther, and
It just whipped back.
yeah, he's throwing that purple hammer that made him famous.
Yep. The ball's probably got 3,000 names on it. It doesn't even have a label on it anymore, I don't think.
And Buttriff right now going to be the tournament leader after game 1. And Stouffer definitely going to be on his back. There's no doubt about it.
Somebody on 35 and 6 has got a 270.
Yeah.
Who that is.
Janowitz with 2 opens.
Yeah.
Again, if it's 1080, I'd be surprised. It doesn't look like that's going to be it. But if that track burns up a little more on the right and they can get in and it'll fall back a little, they'll whack them. And Janowitz just gifted. Don't know.
I'm not sure who that is.
Janowitz, a gifted, probably the best amateur in the United States. I believe he could very well be.
I would vote for that.
Now, B-Rob right here with lots of opens, and he had 3 opens in game 1 for 2-0. So he needs to step it up. Again, it was so nice to see Verity Crowley get her papers and Daria. They could come back and bowl now. I'll bet Verity would have been here today. She bowls up there at Lake Wales. I know she'd be here. She'll be here next month for the $5,000 event. We're going to welcome her back. She is a wonderful, wonderful lady, and her game is flawless. And I'm glad the United States let her back in. We want her here too. She could have been here this month, but didn't get those papers in quite enough time to get back here. And Ronnie Martin, no quitting him. 3 games a week. Got to the title match last week. That's amazing. Or last month. Watch the beautiful game of Pontus. Pontus throws. Well, he's with Big, that new ball company. with Rhino Page. Look at Pontus. Wow. Pontus shredding the rack, saying thank you.
Oh no, I'm just relaxing.
That's called the Pontus Rip right there. Had a root canal in my teeth this morning, Lara. They went into my molar in the back, in for a fast 500.
Nice.
And it ain't done yet.
Nice.
Aching, screaming. 8 o'clock this morning. Didn't sleep for 2 nights. I said, I gotta find a dentist.
Job.
And this guy was open. I went in. They numbed me up and they started drilling. Oh, I loved it. I was sitting in that chair wondering who I screwed to deserve this in my life. I said, who are the people that did this to me?
500, why don't you just yank it?
This must have been all those balls I misdrilled on my 18-wheeler. Look at Billy. Oh, Billy Seymour with an electronic messenger. And Seymour, our GM now, making a little statement that this is my house. And Baranecki, oh, that reaction now, folks, is sweet. Your pure shot makers are going to get in there and fall it back. And I think 1080 to 1100.
This guy's amazing. He just rolls it out. It's from anywhere.
Okay, we're going to go back and watch the only bowler in the world who rests a ball on his forearm in his backswing with his thumb in. Now remember, in order to do that with your wrist, think that's triple jointed? Think that's a triple jointed wrist? Watch where that ball is in the back of his swing. Look. All the way around it. And he's gifted. And he also knows he's got a great shot to win. And when you give a young man like that opportunity early in the tournament where he sees it that quick, and the left side isn't going to change a heck of a lot. And there it is. Out of Scottsdale, Arizona,
79 out of
the great Jacob Buttriff. Scottsdale. We do have tournamentbowl.com. I will be pulling that up for all of you today. And we do have a pretty good group in here, as you can see. I'm going to move the camera a little bit. Bear with me. Look at that group. Action here at Lightning Strikes. And again, honored and privileged that all of you are on with us today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your lives to join us here in Southwest Florida. Praying for all of you, hoping that COVID no longer has a place in our lives other than in a bad memory. Monday, I'm getting my first shot in Sebring at 7:45 at night at a Publix. Got into the website Friday. I had about 10 hours of waiting, and I finally got in. It's only about 120 miles each way round trip. So I got to make the trip Monday and then 4 weeks from Monday. But it's okay. A lot of my friends are getting it now, a lot of my older friends. Spoke to Dave and Judy Sutar. They got theirs, and they're well in their 70s. It was great to hear that. I think Buttriff is triple jointed, Brian. I really do. Jimmy Keefe, that's a great observation there. Robert had his thumb in. It's very rare that we see a wrist in that position in the world of bowling. Now, with the thumb out, it's automatic. You can just cup it right up. It's two-handed. You're cradling the ball with two hands, but one-handed. An amazing release. But more than that, a wonderful, beautiful young man. His posts are genuine and warm. And was very emotional about 4 months ago when he lost his mother, and he posted his feelings. And if you really read the words a few times, you know, he was telling all of us of the pain. And Janowitz, just a great, great shot maker. Leon, I'm glad you had your shot today, Leon. Good to know. I've had some people tell me their arm got sore. I've had several said it hurt the next day. One or two said they got chills, didn't feel good, but the next day they were fine. So, all in all, we're moving forward, and hopefully.
Think he's not double jointed? There's a picture of him on a concourse. Look at that. Look at his legs.
Oh, come on, that's impossible.
I swear.
Oh, come on. That's a joke picture.
That was in the concourse at where was that? South Point. That was South Point last year. I swear to you, that's it.
If somebody did that to my legs, I'd have 40 pins in them. I'd be in a wheelchair the rest of my life.
He's twisted all the way around.
Oh, that's insane. He's triple jointed. Evidently, if you're born triple jointed, ladies and gentlemen, you keep your thumb in, get 500 revs, and have a release no one in the world has.
And turn yourself completely around.
That's
it's crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
I was coming out of the card room at South Point. I knew I had that picture still. I was dying. I was.
Now Robert Eddy down there enjoying himself as our host, and look at him. Watch his face. You just see he's proud, smiling. You know, he's a king. He became a king in his court.
Little kid in a candy store.
And you know, when you get a guy that's a dreamer, and his dreams have come true. He is an unbelievable businessman, and he felt he could turn this bone center around. And the payoff is he's the only one that felt that it was for sale for 8 years and no one would touch it. It was. Okay, we're back up. We lost it for a moment. Don't know how or why. Sorry about that, everybody, but we're good. You'll notice it went down, but it'll come right back up. Every once in a while, we get a little bump in the road here, but we're okay. Let's go back to the live action now. Kurt Pylon out of Detroit, 3 USBC Eagles. All events, 2 team events. Not many bowlers have been able to end up with 3 of those things.
Get it back? I don't see him.
It came back. Yeah, he's not.
He was just standing right here.
Yeah, he'll be back. I got it. We don't need him.
Huh?
We don't need him right now.
You all right?
Yeah.
You want another coffee?
Yes.
1 sugar, 1 cream?
Yes, thank you. Keep in mind, Buttriff the leader, game 1, 279. And And if he does the same thing here in game 2, skipping that many pairs, he'll be the leader, but he'll get a bye and be in the top 8. So let's remember that the top 8 do not bowl the first round of 2 games. Oh boy, look at that shot. Again, we want to thank all of you, as usual. I'd love to thank our loyal viewers. And we're going to have an enormous amount of viewing and minutes watched today. This group has just brought out the best. Stu Williams. Nobody works harder on their game than Stu Williams. Stu Williams has been known to practice 50 games a day for weeks. Just dedicated. Watch the two-hander, Matt Russo, excuse me. See, wow, that ball hooked. A lot of surface. See, he's out a lot farther than Buttriff. I mean, a lot farther. About 7-8 left of the laydown of Buttriff. Ricky Ward is working our pro shop, Patrick, not bowling a lot, and he just is not going to spot an edge. He's not going to give his money away and donate. He's got a bad knee and has lost the desire to bowl because he's working 40, 50 hours a week in the pro shop nonstop. And he's got nothing to prove. He did everything he wanted in his life. Bowled 9 PBA title matches and does not want to put the time in his 50s. And I understand there's a lot of people that have done that. Some keep going and just never stop. Look at Barnesy. Barnesy checking approaches. Barnesy doesn't like the approaches. Now, no humidity today, and we do buff them, but this house does at times. These older panels get a little tacky. Scott Cobb not here today. Brad Stewart not here. Several others that like to bowl the action are not here. Again, maybe not for everybody, but plenty that had to come out. Bowl against the best that ever lived. Slush Barnes. Okay, scores now. Let's see if we can get standings. No, not yet. We'll go get them up for you as soon as we can. I can tell you this much, though. I do have a sheet in front of me. And Bowlby and Buttriff, both with 279s. Billy Seymour, 278. Zach Tackett, 264. Tom Doherty, 262. Chris Keene from Lehigh, the owner of Lehigh Lanes, right here, making a statement, 259 in game one, and he has a lot of revs for man 60 and loves to get in there like that and looking real good. David Stouffer, 258. Carlos Tobon, 255. Rich Cheney, 253. Stu Williams, 245. Right now, 24th place, 220. And I said 1080 to 1100, so there it is. It looks like 1080 to 1100 right in that zone. See where Sean Maldonado is. Sean Maldonado at 214 in game one. Bowling here on 23 and 4. And John Janowitz right at 220, right on the number. Lee Ratchin, 224. Some of our local guys. Brad Angelo, 228. Wayne Toplin, our IT man, 233. Evan Baranicki, 235. So we have several of our locals bowling very well right now. Brian Robinson in 41st at 201. So he's got to step it up, get a 250 in there and get it going. Buttriff goes right over to 31 and 2, hits the pocket twice. So two things are obvious. Number one, both pairs are identical. And number two, they might not change at all. And if that's the case, I would pick him to be the qualifying leader. But when you're in the top 8, the pins get dropped. They're 2-game matches, so you lost a 2-game match, hit a tricky pair, be done, even though you might lead the field by 100. That's the nature of this particular format. Billy Seymour in game one, 279, starting with a double. Seymour with a great reaction, great roll on the ball. And tomorrow we're full again with the Ray Stevens Paramount Residential Mortgage Group, 9-pin no-tap. Ray adding 500 every month to that prize fund. So tomorrow at 120 entries, today at 101, about 220, which is about 200 more than we would have had 2 years ago. So we're definitely in a situation here where we want to thank all of our local bowlers, tournament players, for supporting us here at Lightning Strikes. Now Barnes started with a double. Again, you never count this man out, ever, ever, ever. The determination and willpower, the mental strength that he has shown the bowling world for very close to 30 years. Just turning 50 this year, will be bowling the senior tour. And that ball just not quite coming around the corner. Close, but not enough. Watch Graciela Doobie. Comes over here from Miami with a wonderful, wonderful lady. I was talking to Graciela this morning. She is a classy lady. They call her Gachi. Doobie. Got a nice game. Always dresses nice. Watch the footwork on her. See it. She's got great footwork. Look, low push away. Check it out. See that? Just beautiful there. Come on. All right, you got 9. Coming over here to bowl with the big boys. How's that, huh? Just goes to show you how many people love it. Bill Plunkett on. We're using tournamentbowl.com today. I'm waiting to hear from Mary, Brian, and I'll let you know. I don't know enough about it, Brian, so bear with me. I'm not good at that stuff.
Scores are up on Tournament Bowl.
Mary, what are they using today for Tournament Bowl? Brian
It's on there.
says, Larry, are you using tournament.com?
Seed to table.
Brian says, are you using tournament.com or Tournament Bowl?
Tournament
Tournamentbowl.com, Brian, and here we go.
This is 2021 seed to tables.
2021 seed to table, and there it is. For all of you that haven't pulled it up. As you can see, the prize money, if you don't make the finals, check that out. $220 seems to be the number. Again, for some of your locals, Walter Ray at 211, Rakoski 213, Ronnie Martin 212, Sean Wilcox right there at 214, Carlos Granados, Bobby the Hammer Hamilton, Tim Foy, Brian Robinson, all in the hunt. Daniel Gacera in the hunt, John Ben Barron. And we did have some low scores. Some people just got a little confused. As you can see, we don't want to see that. I don't like it when I see bad scores. You know how proud these people are, but they'll bounce back. Definitely a precision shot. I mean, there's not a lot of room. Let's go to 31 and 2. Take another look at Buttriff coming up here now, who struck 11 of 12 in game 1. So he has struck 15 of 16. No, he had a ring in 10 after a spare. He's struck 9 of 11 in game 1, and this game 4 in a row. So that's 13 of 15 first shots. So obviously he's lined up and he's great. My tooth stopped aching. I'm in shock. I love it. Results are in tournamentbowl.com, Brian. There's nothing going to stop that, folks. Nothing. The only thing is a power outage. That's it. Nothing is going to stop that. The kid is just remarkable. Haven't seen Parker Bone throw a shot yet. He's down a low end. We should be getting him shortly. Now, Big Stu with 6 in a row here on 39 and 40. Again, for all of you, Rye Knappich and Cooper Gates, Susan Beloff, Brian Sullivan, thank you always for the kind words. Mike Varda, Leanne Stewart, all of you, thank you for being loyal viewers, watching us week in and week out. And I don't forget that. I see those names every time I stream, and I say, how about that? People that enjoy watching us here in Florida. Many of you live thousands of miles away. Cooper in Oregon and Jake Williams in New York. People from around the country. Matt Russo's struggling today, the two-handed lefty. Now, you got, again, with Buttriff running away, you got to watch where he's playing. That's where he belongs, right there. See, he's got to get in there, and he's got to put some strikes together. There is a great shot on the left. There's Parker. Parker playing him like Buttriff. That ball laboring. See that? Did not come off the spot with any energy. It sort of went straight, and Buttriff is hooking it back, and Parker's leaving a 3-pin. That is a rotation issue, obviously. Well, thank you, John. Pedro Perez from Coral Gables. Coliseum Lanes, the 1970 Lincoln Mercury Open at Coliseum Lanes in Coral Gables, won by the great Dave Davis. I bowled that event. That was my first winter tour and my first trip to Florida. March of 1970, Coral Gables. And now we've got Beef Stew out of the United Kingdom, who's waiting, taking his time. And Lauren Trenhill's on. Lauren Trenhill holds the association record here in Southwest Florida of 879, and about 2 months ago, we had a young man, Ryan Tamburino, come in, a graduate of Weber, shoot 875, never bowled in his house a sanctioned game. His previous high 800 was 813. He went 290, 285, 300 to go within 4 pins of Lauren Trenhill's long-standing 879. Certainly got the firepower in this association to do it, but we ain't got the carry power. Tougher carry. Like that. Good shot for Beef Stew. I don't know if Zach Tackett's a PBA member, Brian, but he probably is. BJ Tackett off to a slow start. The first couple of tournaments, didn't see his name. He's a thoroughbred. He's one of these kids that just did something in his first 10 years that were unbelievable. He's not a PBA member. That's surprising, Lauren. Then again, might want to stay in the amateur ranks, be eligible for some of those Vegas tournaments. My son did that for 30 years. Never turned pro, was eligible for all those high rollers and all the megabug deals. Made a bundle in those things. We're going to watch the living legend at 26, I might add. What he's done at 26 is Pete Weberish, if you will, Marshall Holman, Mark Roth. They had numbers like this. Albee, they had this young man's numbers. Just scary. They didn't have 26 regional wins. He's 26 years old. That is by far, thank you for helping me. Let me just watch Buttriff right here. Buttriff won 279 game one. We're going to watch the superstar from Phoenix.
I had to go to another county for this, Larry.
And there, yes, thank you. And there is week 7, got it in a little, it faded.
We're just having fun with it.
Again, we're looking between 1080 and 1100. Obviously, with the carry down and the head scorching, we're going to see some pairs get ugly. But the key is to stay close and make your spares. So if you do double, you got a deuce. You don't want any spare misses. And if you'll notice here on these two scoring units, there's one 1-pin spare miss. You know, I'll give them the splits. You can get fooled. You just do not want to give away spares in a grinder, you know, a 215, 220 grind where you're never going to have big games, maybe 230 high, 215 low, and that's what you're going to get. You're not going to bust them like Buttriff's doing. Well, Pedro Perez, you got to come up next month. It's $5,000 for first place next month, Pedro. Same format. Top 24 bowlers make it. Top 8 get a bye. Same format 2 months in a row. No step ladder.
Kid's got magic feet.
You know what I need? Another Corona,
Now,
baby.
Maldonado catching a look right here. He'll go 259, and he is a fantastic bowler out of Texas, folks. Only one PBA title, but don't let that fool you. He could beat a lot of people. Denise Supanich is rooting for Matt Kuba. I like Matt Kuba. I watched them both. Throws it nice. Good game. Let's hope for Matt Kuba today. Well, I don't know if I make it easy, Suzanne. See, the gimmick is, Suzanne Beloff, I don't get a salary here or a paycheck. I don't know if you know that. But I get paid $1 a word. So I shut the hell up all week long. And when I live stream, I come in and I babble for 5 hours. I make $1,000 and I go home. It's a wonderful life. Ooh, good try there.
Butterfield 279 again.
You know what's really amazing also is a lot of the pros that didn't bowl well in the Tournament of Champions came here. Darty bowled well. He was 11th. But a lot of them that didn't bowl well, you know, they're trying to figure out how to stay active after not being active. This helps them tremendously, because the World Series starts next week and there's a regional Monday. So with us fitting this in, they need competition. It's not about practice. It's about bowling with the lights on. And that's what gets you sharp, is bowling with the lights on. You got to practice too, but and next month's event with 5,000 on top, it might keep some people here in Florida a little longer, being that they might not have anywhere else to go, especially if they're all rooming together. And they say, you know what? Why go back into the Northeast or the Midwest when there's nothing after the World Series? I'm sure a few of them are going to hang out here.
Thompson's working 279.
There's lower scores in game 2, it looks like. Again, if the transition is as quick as it could be, it could get real ugly in game 5, folks, so get ready. We don't know that, but I can tell all of you this. If these lanes start to transcend in 3 and 4, game 5 is going to be a nightmare. And that could lower it tremendously. So Susan wants me to give a shout out to all of Adam's friends from California, New Jersey, Florida, and Connecticut. Really, Connecticut? Is that a state? Where the hell's Connecticut? Oh, I know where that is. I once lived there.
The Great Northwest.
I have an award coming from the state of Connecticut next year, folks, just for the record. A very, very prestigious award. I can't announce it yet, but I've been told I'm going to get it. And when I do, it's going to be live streamed. I have to make a speech. I have to drive up there and accept it. And it's an unbelievable award. It's scary. It's crazy. I never knew of it. And I've been told I'm getting it. So, and it's not the bankruptcy award where you went bankrupt twice and screwed 10 banks out of 100,000. It's not the state of Connecticut bankruptcy award. I want to assure you of that.
A Lifetime Achievement Award?
Well, it's not achievement either. It's
Gratis?
It's it has a name. I can't say it. Oh, you're right, Robert Hamilton. Game 4 could be the old thrill of victory and an agony of defeat. Somebody shoots 250 and 7 guys shoot 170. They can go from 35th right into the number real quick. And again, that's the whole deal. Get to 24th. Pins get dropped. And Buttriff looks like he's going to go 5.58 and run away and hide in this thing.
Well, Greg Thompson's going to give him a run this game. No. He just left some. He's only at 250 now.
Now Stouffer, look at all the 9 drops. And Baranecki and Chris Barnes. So here we go. We've got obviously a world-renowned superstar and really 4 of our regulars that can line them up. The Bammer's struggling. But now Baranecki, in all of our opinion here in this association, he is the heir apparent to greatness. Once Stouffer and Rakowski slow down, if they ever do. But he's right behind him right now. He's right there. A precision bowler.
Love that release.
He can change them. He can do anything. He can slow roll it. He can pipe it. Great touch at the foul line.
Mini Norm Duke.
Look at that. Spread the. If you'll notice, the index finger and the pinky spread. Check out the. A lot of times somebody will. That's a real good bowler. Will have the pinky closed in, and the index spread. He's got both of them out. So does Duke. Duke has both of them out. And Stouffer just a genius out there. Eric Stone on the weatherman. Great bowler. Great league player. Now watch the back of his hand, the back of the ball. Watch what his fingers are doing. See him spread, look at that. Wide open. We got that in a little slowed down. Hooked a little early. Again, they are tricky. Leon Bailey, you want to say what the award is? Well, I can't stop you from posting anything, Leon. I can tell you that if this does come to fruition, I've been told it will, and I got that from an extremely reliable source. It's something not only that I never expect, but I never heard of it. But it's been an award for more than 75 years. And I must say that when I heard it,
Question, when you have the pinky spread tucked and your index spread, it gets the ball down the lane long.
I don't know, Brian. Again, that's a very scientific answer that I would have to make instantly about Baranecki. I'm watching it. I've seen it done. Not a lot in recent years. But Evan Baranecki is a genius. He's been taught at Weber and by Randy Stoughton and Del Warren, who are 2 of the best coaches in the world. Now, I had Evan as a kid in Cape Coral, but I didn't give Evan what he's got now. What he got now, he got at Lake Wales and training at Kegel. I got him started. I was instrumental in his early teens and getting him up into double figures. I started drilling his balls when he was 8 years old, but I never told him to spread them fingers like that. And a bell off. Look at this game for Beloff. Boy, averaging 120 2 years ago, falling back to fifth arrow. Tell me he doesn't have eye-and-hand coordination. Scary. Mitch Moskowitz started coaching him as a kid. Then COVID came in and Mitch stopped. But during that period of time, Adam just took off on his own. Great eye in hand. A softer roll for a two-hander. Not high revs. By no means high revs. See that? Very soft at the release and very accurate. Great shot. Proud of the young boy. And now look who he's bowling next to, and look what happened here in game 2, ladies and gentlemen. All of a sudden, this 60-year-old man who live streams himself with a pink shirt on and a knee bandage and a mask has said, "I can win." And believe me, he says it. Les Sherwin on from Las Vegas, formerly from metropolitan New York area. Great player, Les Sherwin. Welcome aboard. Thanks for tuning us in here. Unless you're watching the great one right here, can put it out for $279 on 35 and 6 at Lightning Strikes. Great shot. It's okay. He's locked in. That's the key. You know, he knows where to play. He's got a great shot at the pocket. Not a lot of head belly. Yes, it's a very distinguished award, Leon. We lost our main interview camera, the Lightning Strikes one. Look, folks, that's what I looked like this morning after the root canal, folks. That's exactly what I looked like getting out of the chair, begging for mercy. We lost that camera, it froze, but we have this one. Sitting here with my buddy Greg Sternberg from St. Louis. He's trying to figure out what the hell he's doing next to me. You came all the way from St. Louis to sit next to me, you poor man.
I cherish this time with a dear friend.
He's cherishing this time.
All these guys are good. I love life here.
This is what I looked like this morning when they gave me the bill for $5.06. Look at the face. I went into shock. I didn't move for 20 minutes. It was absolutely horrible. God, $506 for a toothache.
And you're not done.
And I'm not done.
Another 1,000, you'll be fine.
Brian Sullivan says a golden plastic leg lamp.
They give you an estimate on what it's going to finish out at?
I ain't going back. They just don't know it yet. I'm not going back. They can do whatever they want. I'm done.
Kind of money, you should have just taken it out.
Look at that lefty there, just play the lanes wrong. 3 and 3 out. And the gutter ain't flying in this place. But he'll learn. You might watch the live stream and see where Buttriff's playing.
Everywhere.
GoFundMe for Larry's tooth. I wouldn't mind that, folks.
Walter Ray Lowe said.
I do need it. If I go back, it's about another
Nice out, Walter.
another 1,800, but they ain't getting it. Anyways, to call the action here on a Saturday is one of these deals where, and I think the house bowlers will tell you the same thing, it's almost like you're dreaming when you walk in here. And I know all of you out there that bowl that aren't from around here know a real ratty looking dumpy house that's going under. Well, you're watching it today. That's the thing that we're all amazed about. is this was going to be a furniture warehouse. It was already, an offer was turned into the bank to make it a furniture showroom warehouse. We're going to take the lanes out, the pin setters out, and make it one of these concrete floor, damaged freight type warehouses.
Did Russo go to Weber too?
Who?
Matt
Yes.
Russo?
Oh, yeah.
He went there too, didn't
Yes.
he? He's not from this area though, is
No,
he?
I think he's from New Jersey.
He's an East. That's what I thought. I thought he was an Eastern.
Yeah. I think it's Stu Williams out over the fifth arrow, and that 6 ripping the 10 out. See where he played that one? Falling back 25, tight through the front. Look at Lee Ratchet. Whoa. See where Gasseri is now. He should be about 25 at the arrows. Nope, 22. Electronic and nothing. And watch Baranecki and watch those fingers up the back of the ball. See him right there? Wow, look at the turn at the bottom. I got that in a little. Okay. That lane looks like it's hooking, or he pulled it. I think that lane's got a little more hook to it than he wanted in the heads. That ball jumped very quick. A lot of guys checking approaches. I don't blame them. Don't get hurt. Don't chance a bad shot. Chris Keene bowling very well today. Yeah, the only bowler in the field over 60. And he is a very good bowler. He's a proprietor. And I want him to win our senior 50 and over event here. Non-champions event. I'd love to see him. He's never won a PBA title of any sort. He's been close 30, 40 times. It's like amazing. Just never got a break, never had somebody bowl a bad game, had to shoot 260 every time. Love to see him win it. We would love to have a new PBA champion here in Southwest Florida. Danny Hyam on, Scott Berry on, Edgar Bertiguer on, Eric Nyan on, Ricky Rucker, welcome aboard. Oh, I see a lot of fallback happening, Robert. No doubt in my mind. We're going to pull brackets up as soon as I get the scores for Game 2, folks. Jim Porter, looking forward to seeing you, sir. You are an inspiration. Jim Porter, formerly out of Seattle, coached in dozens of countries. A lifelong love of the world of bowling, and did something that I never did, a lot of us never did. Traveled the world to coach. Not the United States, the world. And what a great career you've had, sir. Thank you for what you did for bowling in your life. And I am so glad we could reunite after, I figured 30, 35, 40 years. I mean, it's a while since I knew you. Amazing how we became friends again in our lives. That's one thing for me that's kept me going too. I love meeting up again with those names from the past. It's thrilling. It happens a lot now with the live stream and Facebook. People that used to know me or didn't know I was alive, actually, in some cases, and I understand that. They were not involved with bowling anymore. They moved away. They didn't know. Their lives changed. And one day they got curious and said, I wonder what happened to so-and-so, and they started hunting. And there it was.
Tyler hit a bad pair.
Scores?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
After second game.
We don't have tournamentbowl.com up yet, but I can tell you this. Buttriff naturally at 547 and David Stouffer with a big move at 505. Stu Williams at 503. The only three bowlers in the tournament averaging over 250. Greg Thompson, 484. Billy Seymour, 484. Chris Keene, the strike machine, 481. Brad Angelo, 474. 24th place right now, 436. Again, right on that 1080 to 1100 number. 436, a 218 average. Now 24th. Andres Molinari, Chris Best, 438. Zach Tackett, 444. Tom Garrity, 450. Pontus Anderson, 451. Ronnie Martin, the third, bowling great again out of Naples, 456. John Rakoski, as usual, 458. John Janowitz, 458. Sean Wilcox. This is an extremely, extremely strong field. Walter Ray Williams in 11th, 466. Evan Baranecki, 468. These top 24 right here are good enough to beat anyone in the world at any time. This is a strong, strong field. Brad Angelo at 51, a great veteran, bowling proprietor, great coach, Bowl U with Rick Benoit.
Down in church for Tuesday time. Oh man, that's a bad start there for Tyler.
What'd he do?
6 open, 7 open, Greek Church.
6 open, Tyler who?
Altman.
6 open, 7 open, Greek Church.
Not a good start.
It's one of my starts. He's idolizing the wrong guy.
Oh my God.
I once had a tournament in the Brunswick World Open of 1972, 49 years ago, in the second block of the event. I went 230, 160, 299, 149, 299, 148.
Wow.
Yeah.
Made the cut?
Shot. Yeah, I finished ninth in the 72 World Open. I was 8th in the 71 World Open. Don Johnson won them both.
Wow.
Anyways, and to this day, those two 149s and that 160 cost me a shot at winning the World Open. And they came on after or before 299s. I mean, I get to one pair of lanes I couldn't miss. I get to the next pair of lanes, I look like I didn't know how to bowl. You know, it's crazy.
Amazing.
And it's haunted me
When you move
for 49 years, and I saved the score sheets. I have every score sheet of every PBA event I ever bowled.
Really?
Yes, I do.
I didn't do that.
Yes.
You know, what's bad is I'm such a junkie with other stuff.
Yep.
And I never saved my score sheets, and I wish I would have.
I saved
That's
everything.
a mistake.
I told Sutar the other day at breakfast that I saved my 1967 score sheet when I beat him. And I said, every once in a while I look at it and I yell out fruit salad. I got him in game 1. Then he beat me the next 8 times he bowled me to pay me back.
The only score sheet I think I have is the first sheet that I cashed. The first event that I cashed.
I'll tell you what I have, Greg. I have the very first score sheet, January 6th, 1964, where I bowled 200. My first 200 game, I have on a score sheet, and one of these days I'm going to bring it in and show it to everybody. The date is on the sheet.
That's beautiful.
How's that? From Bradley Bowl and Windsor Locks. I also have my first 700 card. Used to give you a card.
I have that. That's why I say some stuff I have.
What I don't have is the first $100,000 paycheck I ever got. That's long gone.
Well, cash-wise.
Yes.
The check.
Oh, that's gone. I saved all the stuff that's worth nothing.
Yeah. I have a lot of mementos and stuff from along the way.
Now let's watch this great champion here, our own David Stouffer, who is pretty much hosting this event with his announcements today and bowling. And next to him, the living legend with 37 PBA titles, Parker Bone. That's a good shot there. That should hook. See, it just doesn't have a lot on it. It doesn't make a big move. Entry angle weak.
Yeah.
It's not coming.
No. He was having a little bit of shoe issues earlier.
Wow, look at Stouffer get around that one, folks. Oh, wow. It looked pretty good. They're starting to break down, you can see. And look at Daniel Gacera missing right. Sayonara. If you notice,
the reason why I saved that score sheet is because of who was on my pair, and I had problems with him because he was upset at me. It was Bill Straub.
Oh, Straub.
One of the first
he got it.
regional I ever bowled in. First PBA event I ever bowled in was a regional in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And he refused to sign my sheet. Remember when you have to sign your sheet?
Straub is a very unique individual. Was very unique as a bowler. He was the biggest man on the tour. Threw an absolute train 45 years ago. A lot of revs. But when he would
all those rings,
when he would have one or two too many cocktails, and he was not a heavy drinker, but every once in a while he would sit in with his friends, and you talk about a personality change. It was different.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Well, he was that day on the lanes because I had the utmost respect for him.
Oh, he's great.
And he made the comment to me, I had to go down and get Dick because I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
That was back in the day when we were supposed to, whoever was across from you had to sign your sheet, right?
Yeah.
And Straub refused to sign my sheet.
Yeah.
And I chased him halfway down the concourse and he kept telling me to get away.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do. It was the first PBA event I ever bowled.
Well, Straub helped me with my first trailer loading and unloading when I became player service director in the summer of '74. He was my helper, along with...
he was an ox, I'll tell you
He
that.
helped me along with Art Trask.
Art Trask.
And they helped me unload and load every week. And the deal was I would carry their equipment for free and clean their bowling shirts for free. And they would help me load and unload.
Wow.
And it was a great deal for them and me.
Good workout for them. I could see them.
Oh, it was great.
Using that to their advantage.
Now let's watch this now. Tim Foy, I believe that's Foy, who made one of the telecasts in the PBA's Players Championship from the East Coast. And he's the young boy that lost to Chris Vi. Chris Vi shot 300 at him, his first game ever on national television. This young man right here on the right lane, he is a wonderful young man. He's from Delaware. He's a pro shop owner. He's on the Brunswick staff. And I like him very much. I met him in Morgantown when I was working there. And he actually bowled a title match in one of our events and lost. He was the tournament leader going into one of our scratch events that I promoted there in 2017, I believe. And part of history, the 30th 300 game ever in the sport of bowling on national television was bowled against him. Two-hander. Again, not a big man. Only about 5'7", 5'8", 130. But he gets plenty on it. Two-hander.
He's on top of the ball return.
Yeah. Look at that. He slides. See it? He strokes. He slides.
Yeah.
He doesn't plant. He has a sole on a heel on there that gets him to slide. And he bowls 50 to 100 games a week every week. He never stops.
Andy Newer. I always liked his game too. On that pair.
Now we're going to go to 11 and 12 and watch the legend right here. And he is a legend, and he is fierce. He is somebody that is driven to excellence, an announcer on many PBA telecasts, an All-American, Team USA, USBC and PBA Hall of Famer.
Mr. Chris Morris.
Wow.
Yep, he's in on it now.
Wow.
Whoa!
Look at him, look at him, look at him, look at him. Just a slow walk back.
Nice
And
shot.
he is gifted. He is gifted. He's a gifted bowler. Talk about gifted. Watch this great, great champion who's been with Kegel now about 24 years. How's that?
16
What
pounds,
a
man.
truck.
16 pounds.
He's
of
great.
thunder.
He's great. And Angelo still got it at 51. No quitting him either. Now Brian Robinson needs a big game right here, and this is on 4 in a row. He's been bowling in this house for 2 weeks. He's got a pretty good idea about this house, its carry, the approaches. Dear friend of mine from Morgantown, West Virginia, he's staying with me in the RV. And I hope his parents are watching right now. His nickname is B-Rob. Come on. Oh, got a break there. We'll take it. We'll take it. And I know he really wants to make it. Jason Duran right here from Denver, Colorado. Now, keep in mind, he won one of our sweepers about 3 weeks ago on 17 and 18. He made the finals in the 2000 Masters. Jason Duran bowling today. Again, scores looking a little low. Oh, not for everybody. Let's watch Foy again now. Out of Seaford, Delaware. Keep in mind, Delaware gets one of its first TV finalists ever a few weeks ago. A month after it gets its first president inaugurated. Maybe it inspired him. Maybe he wants to get on one of Biden's committees from Delaware, what I would call the Fun Bowling Centers Committee. We'll watch Buttriff. I think he's down the low end.
Scores are out, Larry.
All right, I'm going to get the scores, and look at that thing come back. Wow. Ball sounded like a monster when it hit. And here we go now, ladies and gentlemen. And there it is, Buttriff 79.68, Stouffer 58.47, Beef Stew at 5.03. The cut number again at 436, right on pace between 1080 and 11. Zach Tackett, Tom Doherty in the hunt, Pontus Anderson. Let's look at how many tour players. Got Buttriff, Williams, Maldonado's 3, Walter Ray 4, Pontus 5, Doherty 6. 6 tour players up there now, and several close. Foy, Lavery, all close. Brian Robinson. It's anybody's tournament. Let's check out the brackets. There is the brackets. And who sent them in today? A.J. Chapman firing. Chris Sloan firing in brackets. No payouts yet. Potts, bowl will be 100. Game 1, Buttriff 268. Look at the pots, $100 pots. Wow.
That's right.
And Buttriff getting 62. He's got 162 in pots. I like it. And a long way to go. But we've got action here at Lightning. And let's watch again the great veteran, formerly out of Wichita, now the Dallas area.
I thought he was back.
Watch out for him.
I thought he sold his house.
He gets that look. Watch out for him, folks. That was beautiful. That's Chris Barnes, folks. That's the man that we know.
That is. I think he sold his place. I think he's back in Wichita now. His kids are going to school there.
I don't know that. Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. They just moved a couple weeks ago. That's probably been a month. Got rid of his place in Doubletree or Double Oak.
Double Oak. I lived in a similar place in Connecticut, Greg. Chris was from Double Oak, Texas. I was from Double Choke, Connecticut. I choked off more PBA titles from Double Choke, Connecticut. Adam could be the youngest bowler in the field, Suzanne. I don't know about Nick Forthover. He might be 16. And he doesn't have a white Camaro. Now let's watch this great competitor here, Tom Doherty, who is an assassin. There it is. He is fantastic. Yes, I'm from Double Choke, Connecticut. It's a suburb of Hartford. And as you can see, pretty good crowd watching across the house. A lot of room in the back to just sit back there and chill, if you will. Baranecki.
Robert Eddy with a 221 second.
Now we're going to watch Barnesy. Keep in mind, I don't know if you folks remember this, if a bowler shoots 300 today, the first 300, They get $1,000. Forgot to tell all of you that. First 300 today, $1,000. Just for the record.
Is that from the center? Is that from Robert?
I believe that's from Dave Forbes at Audi.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure. I'll verify it. I think first 300 is $1,000. And after that, nothing. There's no splitting.
Well, he moved way up.
So
he
now,
definitely made a big move.
Barnesy here is obviously ice water in this man's veins. Come on, come on. Oh, no. God.
Tripped that last time.
Great shot. Darn it. I want to see somebody make a G note here. Then I can go borrow money for tooth decay. Yes. You can see Barnesy lending me money. Good luck.
Some big names on 27 and 8. Zach Taggett. I guess is that Zach Taggett there? 27 and 8. Must be Russo's pair.
Again, we're finishing game 3. The cut right now for 24th place is 4:36. It's a lot of time for bowlers anywhere really within 100. You know, if they found something and shot 720, 730, 740, they'd be right in the hunt. So keep in mind, it's happened before where a guy was 330, 320 after 2, shot 740 and made it, 750. It can happen. And look at Buttriff. Buttriff, ladies and gentlemen, on cruise control. Check this out.
279 again.
Every pair is the same for him. The left doesn't. Well, it's not going to change. All he's got to do is he's lined up the minute he gets there, and the reason you can tell is every game starts like that.
Yeah.
He's just going to play them the same because they are the same. And that's the advantage that left-handers have.
Making them look easy.
And if no one shoots the 300, Cooper Gates, I get it.
Was Wilcox in the top 24?
Yes, Shane Wilcox. Oh yeah, he's fantastic.
He's an interesting guy too.
Yeah, he's
interesting game.
Very competitive.
Yeah. Unusual to see him in shorts.
And we could be setting the record today of minutes watched. Right now, we already are at 22,000 minutes watched, and that's after 3 games, and it could be 50, 60,000 minutes watched today. So again, I want to thank all of you for allowing us to come into your living rooms, your cell phones. Thank you. On behalf of Robert Eddy and our staff. Wow. Look at Anthony Lavery Spar. Wow. Big boy there out of Texas. He's made some TV shows. He can play.
That's what you need, Larry. You need one of those man buns.
A what?
A man bun.
What's that?
A man bun.
What's a man bun?
You know, put your hair back like that.
Oh, forget it. A man bun.
The man bun. A couple guys sporting the man bun.
Oh, the bald bun. I got no chance. Yeah, very unorthodox with that footwork. But good shots there, tripping, getting him back in the hunt now. And he's a player. He's very underrated. A little bit of unorthodox there might make people think he ain't got it. Believe me, he's got it. He's made TV shows. He is a factor in the Southwest region. And he, look how right in front of the second set of dots. Look at that. And 5 steps. Watch. 1. Oh, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See that?
Like 5.5 or something?
Yeah, and trips a 4.9 twice. Like little, very short steps. Big man, short steps. And getting the job done.
It's not how, it's how many.
Look at Rich Cheney now. Richard Cheney throws the ball great. Very, very impressed with Richard Cheney's game. And he could definitely win this event. He is good enough. There's no doubt in my mind. Beautiful, beautiful precision. Yes, I'm live tomorrow too, Scott, providing I live tonight. If the tooth allows me to sleep, I will be live tomorrow. If the tooth aches all night, I am not coming in. I have not slept for 2 nights. I will take tomorrow off, and I don't care. I can't go 3 days without sleep.
Wow, Tyler really hit a bad pair there. Altman.
Look at Cheney falling it back. Good shot for Cheney. Falling it back. See that ball?
Holy cow, is that a bad pair? He shot $1.15.
I love seeing these guys on a fallback. This was the old game, you know, in the 60s and 70s.
60s and 70s.
You watched Don Johnson's 299.
My favorite all-time line from
You watched
Nelson Burton Jr. was the reverse blow 5.
Yeah. When you watch the fallback, of course, these balls, you have to swing them somewhat. But you can imagine back in the 60s and 70s with pancake and rubber, I mean, they fell back from the lay down to the pocket. They never moved left.
Never faded
ever.
Not faded left. They never went left. They only went left if you yanked it. Oh, nice spare there.
Johnson and Stefanich, Barry Asher were the king of fallback in the early 70s. They were gifted. Barry Asher. Don Johnson, Stefanich.
Dick Ricker.
Ricker could fall back. Wayne Zahn.
Who was the first guy you ever thought, man, does this guy rip the cover off it?
Roth.
Mark Roth was the first one you ever thought?
I'm going to tell you how.
Huh?
You got to hear this one. I'm in Madison Square Garden in March of 70, and my back is to the lanes, and I'm talking to 2 guys that are with AMF. I was on the AMF staff. True story, so help me God. And there's nobody bowling in the bowling center. It's early afternoon. It's a 40-lane house. Maybe there's 2 or 3 people. Now my back is to like lanes 11 and 12. And I hear a sound of a ball hitting the pins that I never heard in my life. Now, at this point in my life, I've been in 60, 70 bowling centers over a 5-year period, maybe more, maybe 100. Yeah. Right? I'm action everywhere. I'm on a tour, maybe 100 centers, maybe 150 centers. And I hear the sound, and I turn around, and it's him. And he's looking at me. He knows who I am. I was a Rookie of the Year. He knows who I am. I don't know who he is. And he's throwing a Brunswick LTD. And this thing, I watched it hit the pins, and then he's got this like goofy smile when it hits the pins. And I'm looking at him. How are you? Good, nice to see you. And I'm looking at him, and he's got this goofy smile, and I didn't say a word to him. But later that December, we bowled a tournament on Long Island, and I saw him again. And I says, "You're that kid, aren't you?" He says, "Yeah, you're Larry." And we became friends. And he won the tournament. And I was second. He was great. And Stouffer's great. Now, Stouffer, a little trouble here, see?
$1.90.
You know, he had 2 doubles. So he's dropped a little wood. Barnes.
Evans got it a little bit. Evans.
And how about this guy right here, folks? Now look at this, 160. Oh my God. Almost missed that. He's in deep doo. Shooting 189. So you can see a few more splits coming in. And look at Brian Robinson, folks, now in the cut. Brian Robinson. Now, Brian Robinson, folks, was a one-hander, and listen to this one. Him and Walter Ray Williams, to the best of our knowledge, are the only 2 PBA members to throw 300 one-handed and two-handed. in competition. He was a one-hander, went two-handed about 4.5 years ago. So it's an interesting stat. And look where he stands, in front of the second set of dots.
You guys are all on it.
Yeah, amazing.
Oh, that pie looks good today.
Really missed the whole building on that. Yeah. Where did that come from? And that's what that's the shot that gets him. He's so good that one there's something he does physically that causes that. He's too good to do that. Angelo got to put this out now to stay close.
Keeps him in the game. 2-0.
The cut right now is 436 after 2. I predicted 1080 to 1100.
He chopped that.
No, he's all right. He struck. 265 for Robinson. So Robinson, who was...
We did have Bryant, yeah.
.413 is now 678, well into the cut. But again, he gets on the wrong pair and makes a shot like he did the last time a few times. He won't be in the cut too long. Got to be careful now.
Have one of those Tyler games.
The transition games here, along with the skill of this field. You bowl 160, 30 guys could go around you. Got to be very careful.
Can only afford one of those a set.
Look at Larson, 86 and 84 in the sixth with 4 opens. All of a sudden a triple. This is big for him right here. He really needs this.
Looks good.
Great shot. Trusted it. Head down. Thinking. Janowitz would like to put this game out right here, get a strike in the ninth, shoot 2-0.
Get off that pair. 2-0 and get out of town.
Stuff that one.
Yeah, stuff.
Go back down to low end now.
Oh,
Barnes with 57. Barnes is great. He is an amazing athlete. What a star-studded career. Became an announcer. Team USA with Tommy Jones, both Hall of Fames by the age of 50. Majors won the 3 most prestigious majors.
A blessed life for sure.
Well,
worked hard.
Thank God we have that. Thank God we have people like Chris Barnes, because he's setting examples now, for the kids.
Who's with you, Larry?
Who is with you? I imported him from St. Louis. He was a host of mine in '93, but I didn't pay my electric bill, so he came here to collect. When I had my RV and my 18-wheeler in his parking lot, I ran the electric meters too much. He was one of the owners of Tropicana Lanes in St. Louis. His name is Greg Sternberg. And the PBA Tour bowled there, twice, back-to-back years?
Moved to North Oaks, which was another one of our centers.
Yeah.
Went there for a year. We had it back-to-back years.
Greg is retired now. Being that we have the same hairdo, I let him sit with me. But I've known Greg since Dick Weber Lanes, 75, 76?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
75,
kids?
76? No, before that.
Well, we were
75. Oh, yeah. That's right. I'm thinking how old I am. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
I wasn't driving, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
Long time. And
back in the great days of...
Yeah, we go back many years.
St. Louis.
He had a chance. This man here now grew up watching Dick Weber, Pete Weber, right?
Norm Myers,
Nelson Burton, Neil Burton, right? Steve Wunderlich. Rowdy Morrow.
Rowdy Morrow and I traveled together all the time.
And
Ronnie Williams.
Who was your favorite bowler from St. Louis?
My favorite bowler from St. Louis?
Yes.
To come out of St. Louis or St. Louis?
Well, while you were there. Dick?
Man, I'm going to tell you what. There was Steve Wunderlich was a nice guy.
Yeah.
Steve Wunderlich.
He's still around.
Had a lot of fun with Steve.
How about watching Pete Weber grow up?
Pete was a lot of stories and a lot of fun. There's no doubt about it. Him and I are about the same age. We're only months apart.
Oh, yes.
Spent nights at their house.
Spent a lot of nights at his house, Dick Weber's house.
Traveled with Dick. Dick was the first guy who signed my PBA sheet.
He signed your PBA sheet?
Absolutely.
Wow.
I had a star-studded...
Don Carter signed mine, but I don't know what I did with it.
I had a star-studded signed sheet. I had Ray Bluth, Dick Weber, and Norm Myers.
Oh, my God. Dick Weber's brother-in-law.
I wanted to get Bo, but Bo was out of town, and I couldn't get a hold of him, and I wanted to get my sheet in.
Wow.
So I wanted Bo to do it. I wanted a really
Beth,
signed
can
sheet.
I order something from you?
Yes, you may.
I couldn't eat earlier today because I got a bad tooth, but I am famished. I'm better. I want just a turkey sandwich.
You want a turkey sandwich?
I thought you were going to go softer than that, go grilled cheese.
White toast. lettuce and mayo only. Turkey, lettuce, mayo. That's it. Turkey, lettuce, mayo. And a scoop of potato salad. All right? You got it?
Got it.
Thank you, my dear. Don't mind me, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't eaten today because of the bad tooth. And I need it badly.
We had a lot of good players come through there at St. Louis. I'll tell you what, bowling with Neil back in the Masters League back in the day.
Yeah.
That
How
was
about
a lot
Ray
of
Orff?
fun. Ray Orff.
Ray Orff was great.
Oh, my gosh. I was there the morning he shot 890.
You were there that morning.
Absolutely.
I
Junior League tournament.
loved Ray Orff. I told him that one day that he was one of my idols. He said, "No, I'm not. You're kidding me." I said, "Oh, yes, you were."
I'm going to tell you, there was
He
for a
threw
guy
it
that was that big.
Oh, what a game.
He reminded me of David Ozio. He was so smooth on his feet.
Yes.
He had his footwork was just impeccable. And he hit the same spot. I mean, talk about splitting boards. That guy, I remember one time somebody asking Earl Anthony, and he said he missed by a quarter of a board.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ray Orff was the same way.
Oh, yeah. Ray Orff was.
I mean, he could split
I watched
quarters.
him make TV as a young boy at 14 or 15, and I never forgot it. And when I met him, I said, "I watched you on Pro Bowlers Tour. You're great." He says, "You mean it?" I said, "You're darn right, I mean it." He laughed. I laughed.
We had another kid out of St. Louis who I thought
Now
was
wait a
good
minute,
player.
folks. Check this out. Got a little problem here. Look at this. Rakoski with 170. Now remember, we were talking about transition. Now the rest of the guys on the pair, well, other than 133, bowled pretty good. And all of a sudden, Rakoski, little chink in the armor, and another one of them, and he's in trouble. He's 2 balls away from 170 if he doesn't double. Yeah. So again, it's the time of the competition now.
Transition happens for everybody
where
at different times.
You will see the strange things in this house. This house breaks down quickly. Prime example would be somebody like Robinson now, standing as far left as he is, laying it down on. That's called a old man messenger.
He got all the lean on that one. Did Jacob get out there with another 279?
Again, it's going to be an exciting match play round, everybody. Stay with us. We've got a long way to go. The way it's going to work is the bowlers are in Game 4. At the end of Game 5, we're going to cut to the top 24. The top 8 get a bye. So bowlers 9 through 24 will be bowling 2-game matches against one another.
Look what Panko said. Carter, Carmen, and St. John.
Yeah.
Jim St. John.
Oh, my
wow.
God, that's crazy.
That's a good-looking sheet. Tell him that's a good-looking sheet.
That's
Joe,
a
that's
great
a great
sheet, Joe. Can you go up the 5 board now? Only if you want to make the 4-7 or the 6-10. There's ice out there. There is no way.
Yeah, you don't want to miss it that far.
There's no way. The 5, which is normally on flame, is now on SDP.
go up 5, that's where Evan would be, because I think he's like Pete. If you gave him the twig, there's nobody that could beat
Pete Weber
Pete
on
off
the twig. Oh, I know.
Oh, my God.
I know.
He was so good. I'll tell you another guy, when you talk about St. Louis, I'll tell you a guy that was an interesting guy and a lot of fun growing up, or two guys actually, was Randy Lightfoot and Leroy Barnhouse.
Randy Lightfoot was great.
Yep.
Won the Masters,
Yep.
won the Burger King Open. And Leroy was a little different. Leroy was kind of
a character.
He was a character. All right, now let's watch now. Down the low end here, Baranecki, Stouffer. Janowitz coming up. Again, thank you so much, everybody.
We're going to get Walter Ray on this one here at 13. He's going to 13 and 14. You're staying consistent at the minutes. Or do you have to refresh that?
Refreshing.
Oh, 24. What's the record?
It'll be today.
Today?
Yeah. Look at Barnes. Look at his lay down. Oh my God, look where he's laying it down. And I'll tell you something, folks. He is still great. He might be 50, 51, but his touch, his knowledge of his own game is just phenomenal. And look at Robinson where he is, left shoulder. Same laid down as Barnes. And the two-handers, they're, Barnes one-handed at 51, still got plenty of pop on it. If you watch his physical game, walks 2 steps too. Very late timing. Okay, here it is. Jacob Buttriff with 8:06. Billy Seymour, 7:30. Stu Williams, 7:24. Sean Wilcox, 7:09. Tom Doherty, 7:06. Richard Cheney, 7:05. And Mike Coffey, 700. 24th place right now at 6:59. Again, there it is, right on pace for 1,100. And other big names, Kim Bowlby, 698, David Stouffer, 697, Pontus Anderson, 696, Evan Baranecki, 694, Ronnie Martin III, 693, Brian Robinson, 678, Sean Maldonado, 668, Chris Keene, 668, Brad Angelo, triple sixes, Chris Barnes coming alive now, 662, and Zach Tackett, 6 pins ahead of Lee Rathjen, with 659 in 24th. Guys just on the outside looking in within a mark. Rathjen, Lance, Janowitz, Tim Foy, Carlos Granados, all in the hunt. Thomas Larson, Jason Duran, all in the hunt. Rakowski dropping out with that 170. About 29 out now. Parker Bone, about 40 out. Still a lot of room, a lot of time. Yes, William Zaflarski. Great to see Brad Angelo here out of Lockport. Love the Buffalo area. We'll never forget it. Love Thruway Lanes. Was there many years. Used to go to T-Birds at night on Union. Salvatore's Italian Gardens, love that. Como's. Oh, I love Buffalo. I miss it.
Doug Heim.
I knew several police officers in the Cheektowaga Police Department. Used to say hello to me. Larry, how you doing? How's everything? How's the 18-wheeler? How's the buses? The RVs? I'm kidding you not. They'd come by and check the lot out.
Where's Walter Ray?
course, as the years went by, I'm in my 25th year of not being on the tour now, quarter of a century, but they can never take the memories. The memories are, for me, the most wonderful part of my life. I have a great memory. There's very few towns I didn't like. There was a couple. I don't want to mention them. It's not fair. I couldn't wait to get there and get the hell out. I just didn't like them. Not many.
New Orleans?
Oh, I love New Orleans. I was in love with New Orleans. Couldn't wait to get there. The ones I did not like, surprisingly enough, only that
Peoria.
No, I like Peoria. Believe it or not. Oh yeah. There was. All right, let's keep it up. Keep it up, Brian.
They're just a little tacky today.
Yeah, I see that. I see some guys testing them. Now, Rakoski right now, 170 the last game,
The sole state
and
his foot came up.
I believe it.
he needs now to get a big game.
He did.
And watch Baranecki, the young star
I see a lot of shoot grab.
from Cape Coral right here. Look at a beautiful stroke. He's gifted.
Oh my.
Again, no 300s with a $1,000 300 game award. No 300s on this shot, and no game over 279. Very interesting number. Not a game over 279. That means no 10 baggers that were clean.
No.
Interesting.
Somebody's revving him up.
Oh, I love Milwaukee, Jerry McClanic. Boy, did I wait for that stop.
It has to be in the California area then.
No, I loved the. Believe it or not, I loved Fresno.
Sacramento.
We only went to Sacramento once. It didn't make much difference to me. The one time we were there, you couldn't get a feel on a town only going once. Now, I'm not going to say what I didn't like. It's not fair, because.
It has to be some of the Texas swing then.
How do you know that?
I'm just taking
Why
a wild
would-
step.
why
Well,
would-
just remembering the schedule and the swing.
Why
and
would
it would
why
have
would
to
you
be-
why would you mention Texas?
Well, just thinking about the swing and the way the tour went and some of the stops. I mentioned we mostly crossed the majority of the other stops, and we didn't touch too much in Texas, so I got to guess it's some of the Texas stops.
I'll tell you what I did love in Texas. I loved Grand Prairie, Jeannie Halsey's place. Okay.
Jamie Brooks is where's the other
I was not in love with the Houston stops.
Okay.
They didn't leave me breathless, if you will. But they weren't terrible.
San Antonio.
I didn't. That we were only there once, so it didn't make a difference. Or twice.
Grand Prairie.
Loved Grand Prairie. Fell in love with Grand Prairie.
What else? Who else? Amarillo.
Well, Austin was not at the top of my favorite list, okay? But I'm not going to say anything bad about Austin because, there was 40 tournaments a year, not counting the senior tour, so there had to be a place that was 40th, like there had to be a place that was first. Watch Walter Ray now, critical right here, no opens early.
Still no opens.
He throws that three-rever as good as anybody. Walter Ray.
Says you love San Jose.
You've not seen one shot of Lee Ratchin? Tracy, how can that be possible? Let's see if we can find him. I've had him on.
They're on.
You should have let me know, Trace. I'd have flipped it for you, Tracy. Sometimes I miss people. I don't do it intentionally. If they ask me, I'll flip the cameras, don't mind doing it. Oh boy.
I guess Matt McNeil didn't stay in town or come back.
No, he had to rep Storm equipment
He's got
over at the Tournament of Champions. Matt McNeil is a breath of fresh air for us here.
He's a great guy.
He is wonderful. He is his demeanor is second to none.
I'm surprised he didn't do a how's your coffee. He's a big coffee drinker, you know.
He's just, some people that don't know him have said he's cocky. You don't know him.
No.
He's not cocky.
In
fact, he's the farthest from it. But, when you don't know somebody, you can't go by the initial contact. You got to give them a chance to be who they are.
Yeah.
And
the first time I met him, I wasn't so sure about him. He had a little bit of air about him.
Yeah.
But then once I got to meet him and know him and be around him a little bit, like being at Nationals and that, when I worked with Doug Hyman.
Yeah. Frank Giannino, yes, I'm feeling better, Frank. I had a root canal this morning. Got away cheap.
Here you go. You want to take this back?
A root canal at 8:30, one of the highlights of my life. And it stopped aching, so I'm going to try and eat a little now and chew on the left side because I am starving. Famished. And we got a long way to go. This thing ain't over for at least 3 hours, so I got to eat something. And then we start again tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, with the Ray Stevens Paramount Residential Mortgage Group 9-pin no tap. We start again. Hi, Sheila. Sheila Hankion, Great Barrington, Massachusetts.
Jerry says Wisconsin might be the best bowling state in the nation.
Could very well be the best bowling state in the nation. Wisconsin, I'd have to agree with that.
Really?
Yep. I'll tell you one thing, it was the best place to drink in the nation.
Oh.
When I went to Milwaukee, I wasn't sober for the 30 years I went there.
I know some other people that would be in that boat with you. How about Detroit? Were you a Detroit fan?
I loved it. I loved Detroit. I loved it.
Not so much anymore, though, right?
I haven't been there.
Definitely changed.
I haven't been to Detroit now in...
John James Percier. Tell John hello.
Jerry, I never partied in Milwaukee. I went to bed every night at 7:30. Went in the hotel room, got the Bible out of the drawer, read 3 chapters of the Bible, and was asleep by 8 o'clock, Jerry.
Thank you for the Gideon. Mickey Mantle like Milwaukee.
I have Milwaukee stories that will be in my book. I'm writing a book, Greg. I found a writer.
Scores are up there.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Scores now. And we know Buttress leading and running away, if you will. Look at that. Tell me he's not a thoroughbred. But if you look at it carefully, 659, there it is, the 220 average. That seems to be the number. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 PBA champions Walter Ray just out. Janowitz just out. Foy just out. Rakoski, 172. And you want to see an interesting statistic. If you look at game one and you look at the top 24, one bowler under 200, Chris Barnes. In game two, the top 24, 1, 2, 3 games under 200. In game three, the top 24.